What's up, y'all? It's Mike Holloway, winner of Survivor Worlds Apart, and you're about to listen to a podcast with two best friends that love to talk about the game that we all love, Survivor. So sit back, grab a Dr. Pepper, because I'm 155,000% sure you're about to love to listen to Dwayne and Dave. Take it away, guys.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Dave.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And last night, they had a little episode. It was the finale.
Just a little episode.
Woo! All right, Rion or Ryan, whatever your name is. I can't ever pronounce his name. Stop talking to David about Star Wars in the chat room. He will be distracted the whole night.
We're trying to talk about Chelsea soccer right now, too, Man United. But, yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Yes. Tonight we're talking about the finale of Survivor Cambodia Second Chance. As I just mentioned, several are live, watching on our live page, survivortalkwithdnd.com/live. And they're chatting amongst themselves and trying to distract David. So if you're watching, thanks for watching. If you're watching or listening later, thanks for tuning in. We are honored that you subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher or whatever it is, or on YouTube. Thank you so very much. Also, a thank you to Tom Hogan and Stephen Walter for their PayPal donations this week. We don't get a whole lot of those. We have, I think, 27 or 28 patrons. And a lot of people shop Amazon using our link, but we don't get a whole lot of PayPal donations. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. My friends, we have some exciting news, don't we, David?
We do?
Yes. Tomorrow night, I am going to go see Star Wars The Force Awakens. And over the weekend...
Oh, that's that new Star Wars thing coming out, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Over the weekend, Bart Laber's going to go see it. Will the Giant Ninja's going to go see it. Andy Westover's going to go see it. And Christiana Ellis of Talking About Survivor is going to go see it. And Tuesday night, David's going to go see it. And Tuesday night at 10 p.m. live Eastern Time, we are going to have a movie talk with D&D about Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
About how Star Wars and Survivor correlate with each other.
Yeah. I am so pumped. I am so excited I can hardly stand it. We also have Kelly Wentworth. Just any day now, she will say, let's do it. And we will drop what we're doing and podcast and have a great show. It's called Kelly Tells All on Survivor Talk with D&D. That's going to be great. And we also have Cass on the queue, and that's going to be A Night with the Queen. So those are going to be two fun podcasts. And then David and I will probably take a little break until we have to do the Who the Heck Are These People for Survivor.
Yeah, Terry said so. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, don't even start me on that name.
Survivor Brains, Brawn, and Beauty. 2,
right. Yeah, Terry said tonight. So you're setting up, so this is the last one for the season? No. Well, you just got an interview? Yeah, plus we got that. We're doing a movie on Tuesday podcast.
Yeah. Wait, come on now. Terry's got to know. This is your second job.
Yeah.
It pays less than minimum wage.
It can't be considered a job if we don't get paid for it. Believe me, if we got paid, she'd be setting up the table going, you need to go podcast again. We need to pay for some tires or something.
That's right. And since your camera just went on the fritz, we get to buy David $100 and something camera.
Sweet.
Yeah. Your wife will love that. Well, at least you can tell her it doesn't come out of that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Waving to all you people in the chat room that are saying something that I can't read because I'm too busy reading my notes. So, real quick, last thing before we get to the recap, we are looking for a new graphic artist. Oh, I wish I had one of those sound effects. Drew Downs has been doing our graphics since season 2 or season 3, I don't remember, of our season. And just fabulous work. He's the one that does these overlays. He's the one that does all our episode graphics. He does much of the artwork you see on our website is Drew. And so we are looking for a new graphic artist. We don't pay a whole lot, but hold on, I have to sneeze. David, tell him the email address.
It's funny because when you were saying that, I'm thinking Drew does them so quickly and so easily. I think he sneezes and our new graphic comes out.
Yeah.
That's how fast he was doing them.
Yeah. In fact, this afternoon I texted him. I said, hey, we just planned a Star Wars movie talk episode.
And before you finished saying that, he already had the graphic made.
Yeah. He goes, all right. And he sent me a graphic, and it's on Twitter and our Facebook page. It looks great.
Sweet.
It's his last one.
Oh.
So anyway, if you are interested in becoming our new graphic artist, all right, then email me at feedback or Dwayne, DWAINE, at survivortalkwithdnd.com with an idea of what next season's episode graphic would look like. All right? So you can use the Survivor Cambodia logo if you're wanting to use a Survivor logo in it. It needs to have our logo on it. And I can give you access to all the PSD files, all the Photoshop files, all the PNG files of all the graphics. Anyway, send that to us pretty soon because we're going to be picking somebody. All right, let's recap this puppy.
Okay.
Initial thoughts. Lie, Cheat, and Steal's the name of it. Initial thoughts, great finale, great challenges, and wonderful season.
I completely forgot what the title was, and he said it twice.
I know.
Keith's like, I don't want to say lie, cheat, and steal, but lie, cheat, and steal.
Do I get 2 points for that?
You should. It's not going to matter, but you should. Sorry, that's my chair moving back here. Agree. The challenges I loved. 3 outstanding challenges.
Yes.
And they were multi-dimensional to the fact that it wasn't just one talent or one skill. It was multi-skill. I wrote Probst was right in his Kagayan impression of Spencer. We saw the Spencer that Probst thought he was going to see in Kagayan. The one that burned bridges, that left blood trails, and treated people like pawns, and just worked his way. But he played his way to the end, but that was one of my first impressions that we finally saw the Spencer at these last few tribal councils that I think Probst thought he was going to see in Kagayan.
Well, that's interesting because Probst said he originally didn't like Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
That he didn't like him pre-season of Kagayan. He didn't think he was going to do well at all. So do you think he doesn't like him anymore, or do you think that now he respects his game?
No, I think he respects his game. I just think I think Probst was hoping he'd see that Spencer in Kagayan, but he didn't. Spencer had to play a different game in Kagayan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Was the vote 10-0 before Jeremy mentioned his son, his unborn son? And I actually think it was probably, I think I agree with you in that I don't think the son necessarily got him an extra vote. I
don't know if it did. I asked Cass, and she didn't actually answer me. She just said he was always going to win, or he had it in the bag before he ever made that speech. So, But hey, we're going to talk about this later, but I would have made that speech. I actually think he played it perfectly. He held it back. Number one, because it was originally going to be something that would hurt his game. And then he held it back until it was time to tell. Yeah. And it possibly played in his favor. It didn't win him the game, though. He was going to win anyway.
Yeah, I put his win down as pretty big. I like Tony's win because to me it kind of came out of nowhere. We saw him working, but we didn't realize how great a game he was playing. Whereas I thought Jeremy was playing against even tougher competition and still played a nearly flawless game. And his tribal council performance, I thought was probably one of the best I've ever seen. All of his answers and all his comments, exactly. It was just incredible.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And
yes,
Kelly still would have beat him though if she would have been in the final. It would have been close, I think.
She's already coming on the show. You don't have to.
No. Okay. Save it for later in this show. I got some stuff. Lady Wentworth will never trust her game with men over 40 again. first her dad screwed it up, and then Keith screwed it up.
How did Keith screw it up?
Because the only way a fake idol works is if you show it, dadgummit. I mean, if you got a fake idol, it doesn't work unless you show it.
Well, one to have integrity, and one to... Why do you need integrity if you're going on the jury?
Man, it's the game.
It's the game.
Put it on your neck and say, I'm not going home tonight, Jeff. Don't ask him if it's real. You just put it around your neck. I got more to say about that later on in the show, so don't leave the show. Don't look, if you're mowing the lawn or raking the leaves or shoveling and you're done, just pause us, but put us back on later.
Yeah.
All right. Love Yatasha, but you were the GOAT of the season.
You could tell that by the jury questions. That she did not
Abby,
get.
That's right. You, Abby, the GOATs of the season. And, I'm sorry. I'm not saying that as an insult, but she wasn't even a topic.
Yeah.
In fact, the scuttlebutt is, from what I've heard from people that were at the finale, that the jury wasn't going to ask her anything, and production pretty much made them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I haven't read all the.
I'm just saying, she got me a ton of points for the cool kids, for Cool Cats, but anyway, wow. It was interesting though, because really, I mean, she was the one that everyone wanted to take. There was no fighting over anybody else.
Yeah. That, I know, because I was just rewatching it a little few minutes ago, and her comments before the final tribal council was that my relationship is what I've done better this time. I've done so much better at building relationships and alliances. And I'm like, yeah, you did build an alliance and it held strong, but what about the people on the jury? They're the ones that now control how you go. Right. So,
and I asked on Twitter, and she has not responded. But my question on Twitter was, what did you do to make I don't know exactly what I wrote. Just a second. Give me a second and I'll pull it up. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. All right. So I tweeted her and I said, why did everyone seem to want you in the final three with them? In other words, why did they want to take you to the end? Mm-hmm. Like they wanted to take Abby and stuff. Then I put, nothing in edit points to a reason. Because really, we didn't see anything. We didn't see her being mean. We didn't see her being annoying. We didn't see her. I mean, Spencer even said you made all of Jeremy's, did all of his dirty work. We didn't see any of that either. So what I'm asking her is, why did everyone seem to want you in the final three with them?
Yeah.
We don't know because the edit doesn't show it. The edit showed her as a pretty nice person that people got along with.
But it's funny because as the end came on, it was more and more obvious that Spencer and Tasha were like shields for Jeremy. They were with Jeremy. They were protecting Jeremy. They were saying things that Jeremy didn't have to say, and he wisely didn't say some things. Right. They were just showing. They were showing why that they were. It seemed, and I know they're going to play their post game and tell what they were really thinking. But they just seemed they were so focused on keeping the three tight, they weren't thinking about the numbers on the jury. Whereas Jeremy sat back and said, Spencer, you voted off Steven. He's on the jury now. And Tasha, and you turned on this person. They're on the jury now. And Jeremy's just sitting back. Okay. I mean, he took the best two people to the end, obviously.
That's right.
And he played a strong game.
Right. And, Ryan, I wish I knew how to pronounce his name.
Rian.
I wish his name
clarified
was
it for you.
Phonetically.
It's
okay. Rian did a little
4-star,
which means, hey guys, I have a question. Mm-hmm. And he says, we still never got her ask for forgiveness moment. It was a red herring by the editors, or did I miss something? No, we never got it.
Nothing. She wasn't even harsh on Kimmy. That was Jeremy's one that was harsh on Kimmy.
Andy Baker, the writer of The Baker's Dozen over on TrueDorkTimes.com, he kept saying to us, and he kept writing about it, Tasha's not going home yet. We haven't had her something she needs forgiveness for.
Yeah.
So, well, night 35 fits right into this. Keith calls out Jeremy, Tasha, and Kelly. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit by y'all in the end. Translation, I want to sit by Abby. I want to sit by Kimmy, and I want to sit by Tasha.
Why'd y'all go and vote her out? How am I going to win now if she's out of the game?
But you know what? That wasn't even his point. Spencer took it and turned it. But his point was, why are you voting off somebody that you'd want to sit by? I wouldn't want to sit by Abby. I wouldn't want to sit by Boom, Boom, Boom. You know? And, I mean, I would want to sit by Abby. I wouldn't want to sit by you, and you. So why are y'all voting out people that you'd want to sit by?
See,
he actually made a good point.
I wrote down the same exact thing. Spencer, you should have been listening to Keith instead of mocking Keith and saying, right, making the point that you wanted to make, which is true. That's why we voted her out. So you guys wouldn't want to take her to the end, you know, which to me, it just doesn't, their blinders were on for those three to go to the end. And I wrote, maybe Keith is smarter than we give him credit for, because he's right. Why don't you people want to take Abby? You know, why didn't you vote me out? Why wouldn't you keep Abby around? So he's right. Spencer should have done something to keep Abby around and got rid of Jeremy.
I wonder if Andy's opinion has changed on Keith. Keith was better at challenges than we thought he would be, and he was smarter in the game than we thought he would be. He was with the right people when he needed to be with the right people. You know, I think he did pretty good.
He did okay. I mean, Keith's a nice guy, but he almost walked out just to give Kimmy a chance. It shows he's a super nice guy, but I mean, he was like, at first I thought, Keith, you're a step behind. Why are you thinking they got rid of Abby? I thought it was kind of obvious, but then no, they didn't talk to Keith. So he didn't understand why they were doing it. It makes sense to Keith that you keep Abby, but at the same time, it makes sense to Spencer why you get rid of Abby. You know, it cuts down their options, right, so somebody else can go to the final.
Right.
But
all right, so it's time for Kimmy to make her move, and later on we find out in the Ponderosa videos, which there were 3 of them to watch tonight.
I did not get to watch them.
I guess I'll be doing Ponderosa.
Tell me all about
by
them.
myself.
Yes.
That her plan was to keep an alliance until it was time to make a big move. And this was her time to make a big move, you know? And you know what? Honestly, she outplayed Jeremy. She had him in the palm of her hand. Yep. You know, if it hadn't been for Spencer and Tasha's mistrust, it would have worked. It would have worked. And, but that in the idols that Jeremy found and that Kelly found, you know?
Yeah.
So
hey, Rion points out about Keith. Keith voted wrong more than he voted right. You know, he was always on the right side. He was just always not targeted.
Well,
so you lose a point in the Nichols challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else on night 35?
No, I wrote the same thing, and I thought, man, it's awfully late to be making a move like this because you need numbers. However, when else was she going to make it? Because she couldn't have done it with Abby, because Abby flipped back to the core alliance, which is what I call Spencer, Tasha, and Jeremy. And I applaud her for doing it because she was going to be number 4. It's so obvious the rest of the episode that she's number 4.
And she saw it.
And she might not be to Jeremy. I like to hear some of Jeremy's exit thoughts if he feels that way, because I haven't heard anything today. I told you I was on the road most of the day, and I barely got to watch it twice. So I'll be listening to those for the weekend. But I wonder what Jeremy would have done if she'd have stayed in the game and stayed as number 4. Would he have taken her, or have you heard?
I think he would have taken out Spencer.
I do too. I agree. Because he could have I think he would have beaten Kimmy as well.
Yeah.
But I agree. But yeah, that was just enough. And it's funny. That was one of my initial thoughts, is that Jeremy aligned himself with people that did a lot of his dirty work. You know, he took out Steven before Steven could take out Jeremy. Mm-hmm. You know, they took out Kimmy before Kimmy can make a move, if so, but it put Kimmy on the jury, and she ended up being an alliance, friend for Jeremy because of his answers. He stayed loyal to her. So he aligned himself with 2 very strong, very smart, savvy players that did a lot of the bloody work, in my opinion.
Right.
And he looked good from it. So that was just another great play by Jeremy.
Yep. All right, day 36.
Now, I wonder, as we're transitioning to day 36, because we come to another Kimmy scene, could Kimmy have done anything different to not be so obvious? Because Jeremy takes a nap, and Spencer and Tasha just sitting there keeping an eye on Kimmy.
Right.
You know, and Spencer sees it right away. He says, yeah, last night she was in the hammock with Wentworth talking. I'm like, maybe she's playing up the jury. Maybe she's trying to make friends with future jury members.
Well, you know what? she said later, I think it was in her Ponderosa video, she was like, Jeremy could go talk to anybody he wanted, or Tasha could go talk to somebody, and they didn't question her. You know, I go talk to somebody, and they're like, "Uh-oh, she's up to something."
That's because she's number 4.
Yeah, that's true.
I am number 4.
You just answered your own question.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you're right. Okay.
What an epic challenge, man!
Love this challenge. I so wish I could have done this at Durham in Maine.
You do.
I would have loved to have done this challenge. The puzzle?
I wouldn't have been. No, it's let's build the steps upon which we die of exhaustion. I mean, my goodness.
Now, I'll admit, I hate slide puzzles. I usually pop a piece out and make it work and then pop the piece back in.
You got to make it to the slide puzzle first, David.
I would have loved that part of the challenge. I love puzzle step challenges. I love those.
Oh, my gosh.
Now,
that was a heart attack waiting to happen.
And what I loved about it was one wrong piece high up, and you are 2 pieces behind.
Yeah.
That's what's so good about it.
You know what else? That's really a very dangerous challenge. There's no handrails.
Nope.
There's nothing. If you slip, you're falling down 3 flights of stairs, dude, and you're dead or broken something.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, I was getting a little nervous. Like Kelly and Spencer getting up there, they were like barely making it.
Right. This is the great part about the end of Survivor. You got to dig deep, as Probst likes to say, and get up those stairs. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to do it? You know?
Yeah. And sign this waiver. If you die, you won't sue me. Because anyway, Spencer and Kelly first to the top, and Spencer wins it, setting us up for one of the best tribal councils in the history of Survivor.
Well, I got 2 notes about this challenge. Probst finally says, we are done redeeming challenges.
Yes.
This is a new legacy from this point forward.
Yes.
And I wrote, what we didn't know at the time was that this challenge would decide the path to the end for everyone, because that immunity necklace played a big part in the tribal council.
Yeah.
A huge part.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So this was a huge, huge win for the Core Alliance.
Now, would it have been that way if Spencer hadn't won the necklace? Would it have still been that impactful?
No, I don't think it goes to the tie. You're right. Yeah.
All right. Oh, no, I mean, I was just wondering if you thought that way before the challenge or looking back on it.
No, looking back. Post tribal, looking back, it's like, wow.
Yeah. All right. So Kelly does a confessional after it's over. She's like, well, I got to put my trust in Kimmy. It's my only choice.
Yep.
So back at camp, Spencer and Tasha are doubting Kimmy, but
Smartly.
Jeremy is not.
Right.
This could have been Jeremy's downfall had he not found an idol. So that idol literally saved his butt.
Were you surprised that they showed him in such a vulnerable state? Because usually, if we get a winner's edit, it shows the winner being pretty knowledgeable about what's going on. But Jeremy was totally hook, line, and sinker into Kimmy, trusting Kimmy.
Oh yeah, he
was. And fortunately for Jeremy, he had Spencer and Tasha, because otherwise they're splitting votes. Yeah, like Kimmy wanted to do.
And apparently they talked him into doing it.
Yep.
Not splitting the votes, but
right.
I tell you what, if I'm Kimmy, I'd be nervous with Keith involved. It's like 2 or 3 times this episode I was like, okay, Keith, they told you. Now be quiet. Someone's going to hear you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, well.
Well, it's like Abby. It's like keeping Abby in the game. You're playing with fire if you're trying to use her as a vote.
Right.
And I love Keith. I love him to death, but you can't trust him in certain situations.
Yeah. Now, I would like to hear the end of this quote, because as it is, this quote by Tasha sounds incredibly condescending.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking there's probably more, but she's talking to Spencer, and they're talking about Kimmy, and she's like, well, I think it makes her feel good to, play.
Yeah, I remember that.
It seemed very condescending. I asked that on Twitter also, that I would like to know the rest of that sentence.
You probably won't get a response to that one.
Apparently she's laying low. I haven't seen her on Twitter very much.
I remember that the first time, and then when I just watched it, she just wants to act, get in a little time like she's playing the game, And to me, that's fun. Solid. That's solid number 4. Yeah.
It's fun to get to play.
Give her a little time before she goes.
Yeah. It's like the other reindeer talking about Rudolph. Oh, it's it's nice to let him feel like he's special. Until Santa goes, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? And then, man, the reindeers loved him.
Right.
And they shouted out with glee. So Jeremy had a real hard time believing this.
Yeah. But before we get to that, this just leaves me speechless in that Tasha and Spencer, who we later learn had the actual tightest alliance. It wasn't her and Jeremy. It was her and Spencer, which was great. I love that when there's things we don't see.
Yeah.
Why couldn't their two survivor smart brain lose-on minds figure out that they can't take Jeremy to the end? Thank you for agreeing before I even finish. Oh my gosh. How can they not see the Godfather sitting over there with all these friends? You got to look at I know they did, but you got to look at the jury. Look how many friends he has on the jury. Who has no friends on the jury? Maybe Keith? Although he was loved. No, he's loved to get there. But maybe Kimmy. Maybe Kimmy's the one you want to take because you don't think she's done anything. She's the one that just get a little playing time in, before it's over with. Why are you so stuck? Yes, you two. You two are actually controlling to a degree. You just convinced Jeremy to change to solid votes for Wentworth. Why are you sticking with Jeremy? I don't understand.
Yeah. That's such a good point. And it makes you wonder if Jeremy's plan to not talk about his family and to not talk about his new baby, played a part because they didn't think of him as big of a threat as they thought of Kelly Wentworth.
So it makes me wonder, right? Because there's a good argument made as to why you can't take Kelly later on. But, which makes me wonder if they felt Jeremy was playing under the radar. But we never got that because we were never supposed to suspect that he was playing under the radar because a winner doesn't always play under the radar. Yeah. For a big solid winner in a returning season, then you'd be a big hero type player. And Jeremy completely was. But I wonder if their logic of taking Jeremy was he's so under the radar, he's just not making the big moves and we are. We're actually controlling him. And I wonder if that's what they thought.
Yeah.
Until it was too late.
Maybe. So, do you think Kimmy overplayed what? Me? I would never do that. I knew this was going to happen.
Oh, absolutely not. No, I was proud of her. I'm saying I hope she's faking because that's beautiful if she's faking.
Yeah. And then we get I can still do the whole faking thing.
And she won him. She won Jeremy.
She totally outplayed Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Totally outplayed him.
Old school, baby.
Yeah, and he admits it later on.
Yeah.
Which is probably why they showed it. Because they needed her to be, because she wants to ask that at tribal council, and now, now she can.
And it makes him look vulnerable, not perfect. I mean, that's another nice sign of a person.
Right. So let's go to tribal council.
One of the best ever. I mean,
well, this is a pretty darn good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what got me was everything's going just fine. Everything's going as planned. And then Spencer talks.
Jeremy, where are we at with idle chatter?
There's a lot of idle chatter going around.
So then, Spencer, is part of the decision in who you would vote out based on if somebody does have an idol, let's try to get rid of it?
The 4 people who voted together last tribal made a plan to split the votes tonight. After the last 24 hours, Tasha, Jeremy, and I aren't good with splitting the vote anymore.
And you're leaving Kimmy out of this on purpose?
Yeah. Tasha, Jeremy, and I are voting 3 strong on one person, and it'll be jump on board with us or draw a rock and maybe go home.
That's the Spencer that Probst said could not win Cagayan. And Keith called him out. Yeah, he's sitting there with that necklace. He can rattle on all he wants and be Mr. Bossy and bully. And that's because that's what he was. I mean, he flat out sat back and said, because we're going to Rocks. He knew he wasn't going to Rocks, but we're going to Rocks. We're going to Rocks.
Well, he thought they were going to go to Rocks. Little did he know.
Yeah. You can't go to Rock, but you can go to Rocks.
But my goodness, did Spencer just show his hand and force Wentworth to play her idol?
Pretty much.
I mean, Wentworth thought she had a good thing going. I think Wentworth was thinking, okay, I've got Kimmy. Because I really feel like they went into that tribal council and Kelly was confident that she had Kimmy. And Kelly was willing to take that chance and then play the idol next tribal council, right? So I don't know that for sure. We haven't gotten to have our, night with Lady Wentworth talk. But if that's the case, but then Spencer says this, and guess what? We're not splitting the vote. Well, then guess what? Kelly's playing her idol.
Absolutely.
Because you're not voting Keith out.
Yeah. You've already tried to vote Kelly out once, so she's not dumb, you know. And they're not going to vote on Kimmy just in case Kimmy is still loyal.
Right.
So, exactly. So, if that happens, I think Jeremy still plays his idol out of fear. You think so, too? Or do you think?
If Kelly doesn't play hers?
Do you think Jeremy plays his? No?
Not if Kelly doesn't play hers.
So if that goes to that, there's 3 votes there. So then if they're tied, they revote. They're going to lock in their votes. They're not going to change their votes because they want the other people gone. So then it comes down to drawing rocks for Tasha, Kimmy, and Keith.
Yeah. That'd be all right.
And would they do that? Would the 3 of them do that is the question. Or they could change, one of them could change their votes. And I think Kimmy changes her vote to Kelly. Although she'd be in a bad situation. She'd be next because she flipped.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Spencer whispers to Kelly, "You're good." And Kelly's like, "Yeah, right."
Exactly.
I am good. I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I know. Just another great lie. More blood on the floor.
Yeah. And Keith's like, "Well, let's go to rock. Let's go to rocks then."
Well, I like, Kimmy said, she feels like she's number 4. And yeah. Jeremy, in all honesty, I believe, says, I never said you were number 4.
Right.
I never said that. Spencer says, you're fine as long as you vote the way we said to vote.
Yeah.
As in us, the 3 of us.
You know, it's like Spencer almost screwed up Jeremy's game.
Yep.
Because but then again, perhaps Jeremy should have told Kimmy, "Look, Kimmy, it's you, me, and Tasha at the end."
Right.
Okay? I'm sorry you're starting to feel this way, but it's you, me, and Tasha at the end.
See, I'm wondering if Kimmy's thought was right. And then Tasha says that Kimmy is not number 4. I'm like, come on. Anyway, we know. But I wonder if Kimmy never got that chance to hear that from Jeremy because Tasha and Spencer were, shadows on Jeremy.
Well, no, because we saw Jeremy and Kimmy in the hammock, and Kimmy did her whole wonderful Oscar-nominated acting.
Right.
So.
Maybe he didn't make that promise. You're right.
Yeah. So they vote. Kelly wisely plays her idol, and Jeremy wisely plays his idol, so no votes count.
So you know why Jeremy was skeptical of Kelly having a second idol?
Well, why?
Because he had a second idol. And if one person could have a second idol, somebody else could possibly have a second idol. That's all I could come up with. He said, trust me, she could have a second idol. Trust me.
And Spencer's like, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, Jeremy, no, it could happen. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Notice that Probst says no votes cast for anybody at Tribal Council. All right?
Right.
Because somebody on our Facebook group, I don't remember who it was like, well, it's not exactly correct, or it may have been on Twitter in response to me. Not exactly correct because he got 3 votes. They just got canceled. No, they are not even considered votes.
They're in the fire. They're not votes.
They are not considered votes at all. So they re-vote. So this has never happened before. So they basically just start over. And everybody votes. And now we have 3 people with immunity.
Except there's only 3 people's names, right, instead of 5, right?
Because 3 people have immunity. Mm-hmm. They can't vote for Kelly, Jeremy, nor Spencer, and everybody votes. 3 for Tasha and 3 for Kimmy.
Did you expect anybody to flip at that point?
No, I didn't.
I was wondering.
But you know what? I don't think they realized the ramifications of a tie.
No.
Yet.
Right.
I don't think the producers were really ready for this. It'd be interesting to find out if they did any stop camera or if Probst sat there listening in his earpiece for a while.
I guarantee you there was all right, halt for a second. Be right back.
Yeah.
Don't talk. I'll be right back.
So it's a tie, 3 Tasha, 3 Kimmy. Per the rules, they will re-vote in case anyone wants to change their vote. But since no one wants to change their vote, then they get to the, okay, well then y'all have to come up unanimous on one of these 2 people. Or those 2 people are safe and y'all 4 are up. Unfortunately for Keith, of those 4, he's the only one without immunity.
So it did actually come up that it would go to rocks, but with only one person eligible, he would get the automatic rock. So yeah, it did go to that point. And man, I'm with Fishback in the facial expressions. That is so wrong for Keith.
Yeah.
Did somebody tell Keith that when he was going to vote for the 3rd or 4th time?
No.
I know. I could hear Keith over there saying, "What? Tell me that again."
Well, that's what he did. He went, that doesn't make any sense at all.
How does that happen? What did I do?
Yeah. But, if you just, I really appreciate that after that segment, Probst comes back at the reunion show and explains it. Mm-hmm. Because that helped a little guy like me.
Yeah.
Just one of the 2 best friends.
Well, this is another sign to me where Spencer lost, in that he was not budging. Tasha's not going home. She is not going home.
She's not going home.
So you guys got to change vote. She's not going home. I'm like, dude, you don't even have to say it. They know that you 2 are not changing your votes.
Right.
This is where you're missing out on that relationship thing. You said you have relationships, but you're not making them with those people on the jury over there. You're just making them with these 3 people who cannot vote for you, or these 2 people.
It's like once Spencer gets power, he turns into this, I don't know, this arrogant, cocky guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, exactly. Like I said, this is where I think Probst nailed his personality for Cagayan. This is the guy he didn't think could win. And I think it really, really hurt him. I don't think he could have beat Jeremy anyway, even if he came in super nice these last 3 or 4 tribals. But he really put nails in his own coffin.
Yeah.
So now Rion wants to know if this season changed the whole perception of, if you play an idol for someone, might you have a second idol in your pocket? Are people now going to start thinking of that? Are people now going to start saying,
sure.
Well, David played an idol for Dwayne and he really doesn't like him. So might he have a second idol in his pocket?
Yeah. I got a little idol in my pocket going jingle-ling-a-ling.
I mean, when's the last time we had 2 people with 2 idols?
I know, that's crazy.
Well, Jeremy had 2. Kelly had 1 and then 1. So she did pick it, right? Jeremy didn't have the second one. He had 2 at the same time, right?
Yeah, he did. Okay. I got double points for it.
That's right. Okay.
So Keith almost quits. And Kelly's like, seriously, don't quit, please. You're the only person I can trust in this game. Don't quit.
And the only other person that can win a challenge.
Yes,
because Kimmy's not going to win a challenge.
Right. That, and she can only trust him. She can't trust Kimmy. So not as much as she can trust Keith. But yeah, hang around, try to win the next challenge,
Right.
So anyway.
So if Keith wins that challenge, well, he wouldn't have won the puzzle challenge. But anyway, if anybody else other than Spencer wins that challenge, Spencer's is on the block. It's a whole different tribal council. It could be.
Right.
Then again, it might not have gone to idols, but still, it's Spencer winning that challenge really laid the groundwork for that 3 to get to the final tribal.
Yeah. All right. But before we get to that challenge, we have the night back at camp where Spencer's.
I'm at the previous challenge. I'm at the previous challenge.
Oh, you're at the previous challenge. Okay.
That's what I was talking about. That's why it was such a game changer.
Yeah.
That having that 3rd immunity. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But still moving on, it's like everybody has these blinders on. It's like only Kelly is the idol whisperer. Hello, Jeremy had 2 of them also.
Exactly.
But Spencer's asking Kelly how she keeps finding idols. What about Jeremy sitting right next to you?
I think it's worse than that. I think they're turning their back to him. He's sitting right behind him, and they're looking at, Kelly's had 2 idols now, and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And what do you think, Jeremy? Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't look at Jeremy's resume.
That's right.
The guy's got all these friends. How are they not seeing it? I don't even think it's blinders. I think they get their back to him. Yeah. He's saying all the right things, I guess. I don't
look at me. I don't have no kids. I don't have a wife. Don't look at me.
I didn't play 2 idols. I played 1 for Steven. And then y'all voted him out next anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I really just had 1. I really just had 1, and then it got nullified by Kelly. So I really had none. I had no idols.
Yeah.
No idols.
Really? Exactly. All right, let's go to day 37. A huge, huge challenge. And I want to talk a little bit about Kelly's strategy and why I liked it so much. Mm-hmm. All right? So if you remember the challenge, it's really big. They got 6 different places that they have to go and different obstacles to get through.
Yep.
And some are harder than others.
Right.
Kelly's strategy to do the hardest first is much like my eating strategy in this way.
Yes.
All right. You put a plate of food in front of me. There is a beautifully cooked medium rare steak, a wonderful sweet potato, and a stem of broccoli. Guess what I'm eating first? The broccoli. Because I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
So I want to get it out of the way so that I can enjoy the rest of the meal. Now, so how this relates is...
You talk about food and you cut me off. Go ahead.
While she's still fresh, yeah, David's like, okay, whatever, just go. Yeah, Kelly, while she's still fresh, not tired from all the other ways she could go, tackles the hardest first so that the easy ones are last, and she doesn't have to exert as much energy.
So are you saying you need energy to eat broccoli?
No,
but eat the other food.
But it's a little different. But still.
But
that's
seriously, my thought. She put the most energy into the longest stage of that challenge. Oh, yeah, it was brilliant.
Right.
Very smart.
She has more energy. She has more mental sharpness. Everything's better at the very beginning of the challenge. So go ahead and do the hard one first.
So my question is, why would you order broccoli? Order something else.
Because I'm trying to lose weight. I've lost 11.9 pounds on Weight Watchers.
Asparagus, grilled asparagus. Try it. It's amazing.
Gross. Those little long...
Really?
No.
Yes.
No.
You just extra virgin olive oil and little salt and pepper on. Oh my goodness, grilled.
Really? Olive oil? Why eat asparagus to lose weight if you're going to put olive oil all over it?
It's extra virgin olive oil.
Oh.
Isn't that better for you? I don't know.
You think a virgin is better? No, that doesn't help anything.
Okay.
I don't understand
Works for
olive
Brussels
oil.
Sprouts too.
Virgin olive oil. What does that even mean?
I don't know, but if Rachel Race cooks with it, I'll try it.
All right.
Whatever.
Right.
But yes, brilliant.
Again,
Use all your energy on the hardest part of those stages and come back. Even Probst called her out for being smart.
Yeah. Wet wooden platforms means dangerous challenge.
Oh, Spencer bit it again, didn't he? Didn't he fall down and kind of go head first? He popped right up.
They're all slipping on wet wood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right.
So after that happened, and I know she either didn't have her phone or couldn't hear me, I messaged Kelly. I said, please take Keith out in the woods and either go find an idol or make him one. Next scene. Of course, I don't think she ever saw it. Next scene, we get the fake.
Beautiful, beautiful idol.
It was good.
I'm biased.
You are biased. It wasn't great.
But it was a good idol.
And
Dalton Ross said it was up there with Bob Crowley's.
Yeah. But wasn't it just one piece on a necklace?
Yeah, but there's lots of beads.
And like they said, they all look different. So, but my thought was go out in the woods, because when he came back that night before that challenge, they talk about, finding the idols and stuff. And, Keith says, I guess he looks at Kelly. I guess we better go start looking for another one. And I'm thinking, oh, that'd be so cool if they put another idol out there. Now, if it was Joe or Malcolm, they would. But anyway, it's Keith. So
yeah, right.
But I'm thinking, go out in the woods, be digging for hours. I mean, I know it takes energy, but digging for hours and then squeal like something, even do a half hug or something, and then come back as calm and relaxed as possible.
Or then, you know what? Come back with the thing around your neck. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
go ahead.
The only reason, so that you don't have to come back and pretend to put it in your pocket, because Kelly would never let Keith come back to camp with it in his hand and put it in his pocket in the last minute just so they could see it.
Really.
The only reason I wouldn't put it around my neck then is it gives them time to study it and look at it and think, because they know there's probably a 60% chance it's going to be fake. At this point in the game, Spencer is too savvy and Tasha to think it's real. I mean, how perfect it would be. I could see Spencer going, you're not Malcolm. They're not putting an idol out there for you just at this point in the game to keep you in the game. So showing it that early, I would have been, like you said earlier, put it on right before the vote.
Yeah.
And just sit up proud and say, I'm not going anywhere, Jeff.
That's right.
You know,
production actually went out to hide the next idol, and Probst brought him back.
What is
I'm kidding. Oh, man.
But yeah.
Anyway, too bad Keith doesn't actually use the fake idol.
Really? Integrity? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Survivor is, what are you prepared to do to win?
Right.
You know?
All right. I think
lie,
it
cheat,
would
and steal.
Yeah, that's right. I think it would have played even better if Kelly had pulled it out at Tribal Council. So don't give it to Keith. Don't leave it in Keith's hands. You keep it. All right? And you pull it out at Tribal Council. And don't play it on him. Say, Probst, I have something I want to give to Keith. And give Keith the idol.
Mm-hmm.
And tell Keith, Keith, put this around your neck. Now you're safe, and so am I. Now what are you going to do to the other three?
That would have been much more effective.
Yes.
A visual, if Keith could have done it.
Because a fake idol only works if you use it.
So the deal is, Keith, you don't say a word. I'll say everything.
Yes.
You just bend over when I put it around your head and sit back and smile. Don't say, lean down so I can put it around your neck.
That's what my doctor says. Don't say a word. Just lean over. Just bend over and shut up. I'll be done in a minute.
Tilt your head forward so I can put the necklace around your neck. And don't say a word.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with Tina. He was too obvious he was not a good faker because it's obvious Jeremy never bought it. He never bought that it was real. But what a great, maybe the funniest scene of the whole season where he's trying to get Keith's attention to tell him to vote Spencer.
That was great.
Keith's in La La Land. He's nowhere.
That's actually, is that right then? Yeah. But, and then right before that, when Jeremy and Tasha and them are talking, it's funny. Jeremy's worried, but Tasha's not worried. She's like, oh, well, we're going to do what we're going to do because she knows they're not going to vote her out. Everybody wants her at the end.
Exactly.
She has no skin in the game.
She is the new Abby.
Yeah. She has no skin in the game. All right. Tribal Council. Tasha calls Kelly the idol whisperer. And meanwhile, Keith sits there and does nothing.
Yep.
Poor Kelly. She had to have been frustrated. I can't wait to ask her about that. So, anyway, Keith goes home. I wonder if Kelly tried talking to Jeremy. Oh, yeah, I wrote this down. I wonder if Kelly tried talking to Jeremy about Keith being a good person to have at the end instead of Spencer. You know? I wonder if she even tried that route. Just get Jeremy and say, Jeremy, look, why are you taking Spencer? Take Keith. Let's get rid of Spencer.
Let's see. At that point. Yeah, that's right, because Kelly had won. You're right. Rian made a point that on the red carpet interview, Kelly said she couldn't pull the idol out to give to Keith because the whole game, it's not how she used the idols. She was always pulling it out after the votes are casted, not before. So, I mean, that's understandable.
I still think she could have because the whole idea was to tell them, now y'all have to change your votes.
Right.
Although Rian's also right because you would play it afterwards because then your votes are the ones that work. All right, so still. Yeah. And he also said it wouldn't have fooled Spencer, Jeremy, or Tasha. Anyway.
True, it wouldn't, but unfortunately, sometimes you got to take it out of Keith's hands. You got to do it yourself. But you know what? I think looking back, she still would have preferred trying that than him not doing anything with it at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Giving Keith that much responsibility with the fake idol is like asking Abby to be the mediator in a debate or between two friends that are arguing. It ain't going to work.
No.
Abby ends up getting in a fight. All right. So we know what happens. And it's time for the final immunity challenge.
Yep.
This is an easy challenge to mess up. You've got to stay so mentally sharp to keep up with which ball's going where, you know. And I was also trying to figure out how far I would let that ball go So for me, I'm thinking, okay, you want your second ball, you want to build from the front end. Because my initial thought was put the first ball in, then when you had the second ball, do it halfway. But then you've got to figure out halfway for every single ball. If you just do the first ball in, and then when he says to add one, you wait until you want to go, like I would say 2 times, and then add the second ball. Then when you add the third ball, you add it after that second ball, same plot, same spot. That's what I would think, but I wasn't out there.
I was trying to see, it makes sense that, this is just going to keep going left, right, left, right, left, right. But it looked like the first round of loops was shorter, faster than the second. Yes. So that's why the ball kept speeding up. It would be a quick grab, and then a wait, then a quick grab, turn, and it was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough.
So Kelly's out first, and it's overwhelming, but it gets even more overwhelming in a little bit because Jeremy wins, and he's overwhelmed with emotion because, heck, he just made the final 3. And then Probst, you know what? Probst has to go until Kelly cries. Way to go.
Yep.
Kelly's fiance's got a couple words for Probst.
Well, I'm surprised that ABC's Wild World of Sports didn't play because we had the thrill of victory because Jeremy knew he was done, and the agony of defeat because Kelly knew she was out. There's no way she's going forward.
Yep.
But I wonder if it was production's idea to say, hey, Jeremy, why don't you go to Kelly? Just ask her if she would want to do a fire challenge with Spencer.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy says, that ain't happening. Well, just say it anyway, because we got 2 hours till tribal, and we got to fill some time here. Right. We got to have that segment between, Yeah. But that was kind of when it went down. I didn't want to watch that part. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I didn't want to watch that part. Go ahead.
Why would Spencer say to Kelly, I think I have a pretty good chance to win this? What is he thinking? What? I mean, Kelly's like, okay, why'd you tell me that? I'm going to use that against you.
But at the same time, I wonder if he's starting to try and make his case to a jury member, knowing that she's going to be on the jury. That's the only thing I could think of why you would say a statement like that. Because you're feeding her information to give to Jeremy.
Yeah. Oh, well. Notice there's absolutely no talk at all of the possibility of Tasha beating Jeremy.
No, never.
None.
I wrote down that Kelly tries to sell Jeremy on taking her versus risking going against Spencer, but everything Kelly is telling him is only prepping him to be prepared to beat Spencer. Yeah. I feel like she was actually, I think she was 98% knew she was done, but you still got to give it a try. She went down swinging, and it was the only spot she had because he wasn't going to get rid of Tasha, right? Like you said, but it's almost like Jeremy's like, yep. Keep telling me what you think of Spencer because I need to make sure I use some of that in case I do feel threatened. But he was just too good. But it's funny. He mentioned Jeremy said, Spencer's been playing for the bottom and he's made big moves. Kelly has also been playing for the bottom. She's made big moves and she's played 2 idols perfectly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that just means Kelly's going to Ponderosa.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeremy. So much for tribal. Skip tribal.
That's right. Essentially, Kelly losing the ball challenge, that final challenge, if it wasn't $1 million mistake, it was $100,000 mistake. Or not mistake, but $100,000 loss. Because she was a shoo-in for second if she didn't get first.
Totally agree.
She had people on that jury. Sierra, Abby, for sure, are voting for Kelly.
Right.
So, anyway.
Yep.
I'll try not to bring that up too many times when we talk to her.
Well,
You know what? Whenever she gets married, you and I should buy her that challenge.
Now, Cass bought her challenge because she won it. You don't buy someone a challenge.
She goes, look what D&D brought me. How nice of them.
So,
by the way, Cass, I'm sorry. By the way, I got my Chaos Cass and my Kumbaya Cass bracelets.
Nice.
To support the schools in Akagayan.
Mm-hmm.
And she even personally signed the letter, and I got 2 sports cards that are bound to be worth millions of dollars in 20 years. But she hashtag STWDD on them. It was pretty awesome. But if y'all haven't done that, I don't know if she's still doing it, but go check out her Twitter feed and see if she's still doing that. She's given all the money, like she's paying for the expenses, but making no money and giving it all to those schools in Cagayan, which is pretty awesome. Cambodia, wherever they were.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I lost my train of thought.
You lost your train of thought because I went off on something. Sorry.
Yeah, but it was a good reason to go off.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to talk? I guess we're at Tribal Council. Kelly pitches that Spencer is a big threat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. We'll talk about Tasha in a minute. Spencer says that's that pot calling the kettle black. And then he says that if Jeremy makes the game mistake of taking Kelly, he will vote for her and make it his mission to make sure she wins.
And I'm saying this because I know that won't come back to affect me later.
Yeah.
Spencer, the jury's over there. They're listening.
That's right.
This is the Spencer that Probst warned us about.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And then Probst goes to Tasha, what about you? She's like, I'm just going to sit here and watch.
Yeah. I know I'm going to the final.
Wait, what sound do goats make? I don't know. That's the sound she made. I'm the goat. Leave me alone.
I'm safe.
It might as well not even be a final three. I mean, seriously. It might as well not. In fact, the fact that Spencer has to split second place earnings with Tasha is a disservice to the people that voted them in.
I was trying to think of where you're going with that.
Anyway.
They probably got the same exact number of votes, so it makes sense that they split their earnings. Their winnings.
Well, I think what they do is they take second and third place, combine it, and split the money. I think that's what they do.
They do. That's what I'm saying. They probably got the same number of votes from the people, so it works out that they split their winnings.
Yeah. That's what it is. Anyway, I love that Kelly brings up Spencer telling her he has a shot to win it.
Mm-hmm.
So. Okay, here we get a great scene. So, David, I'll be Probst, and you be Jeremy. Okay?
Okay. Hope I remember
Trust
what the scene is.
You'll know, and facial expression has a lot to do with it. All right, so I'm going to put the camera is on you, just like it was in the show. All right, here we go. Jeremy, is your decision based on the notion that there is someone here I can beat, and that's who I'm going up against?
Yes. Is that what he said? Isn't that what he said?
He went, yes. Have you contemplated that if I'm wrong, it's literally $1 million mistake?
Yes.
And are you ready to vote?
Yes. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you did it right.
It started coming back to me once you started.
Right. And then, as soon as he says that...
And are you ready to vote?
Yes. If you're about to vote for me, 100% she wins. If I go to the jury, I would consider it a terrible move on your part. No offense, but it would be a terrible move. And based on that move, I would do everything in my power to see her win because she would have deserved it.
Okay, it is time to vote.
Can I respond? Because what we did not hear was Probst going, now that's what I'm talking about. That's the Spencer that I knew I'd see a few seasons ago. Way to go, Spencer. Way to come out as a villain. Because we need more villains for the next Heroes versus Villains season.
That's like the third time he threatened him.
In a row? Well, yeah. I mean, it's the third Tribal Council in a row where he's come out like a bully.
Yeah,
but yeah,
well, that's the third time in that Tribal Council.
In that Tribal, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And Cass is sitting there going, I'm the Queen of Ponderosa, dude.
And Jeremy's just going, dude, you keep saying that because you are so making me the winner of this season.
Yeah, I am so taking you to the final three.
We are locked, Spencer. We're tight, brother. Don't worry about it.
Oh, man.
But the funny thing was, that I was talking to a guy who was texting me from church that was texting me about this because he said, give me your prediction. I said, I don't have a prediction. I said, go to our Facebook group and read what I wrote. He said, give me the 6th to 1st. And I had Keith and Kimmy switched and I had Spencer 4th. I thought they'd get rid of him and Kelly would go and get 2nd place. And he's texting me about something. And, he said, wow. He said, that's Survivor blackmail. I said, I know. The funny thing was it was also said in the Philippines, but we didn't get to see it.
Yes. By the way, Tina asks, is Dwayne not a Tasha fan? No, that's not it at all. My point is, CBS has not shown us why she is such a goat at the final 3. CBS didn't show us anything. She wasn't mean. She didn't do anything on the show to merit people taking her as a goat. We got reasons for Abby, right? We got reasons for Kimmy. She wasn't really doing much until the end. So, and you have reasons, well, really Kimmy and Abby, but they didn't show us any reasons for Tasha.
Also, Kimmy flipped on her core alliance. That was her big move. Right. You're right, Tasha. We got nothing to show that Tasha was the worst person in the world, especially for the jury to take her as a non-factor.
Yeah. So my point is, it's obvious. But what's not being said? There's an elephant in the room, only the problem is usually you can see there's an invisible elephant in the room. And they're not telling us what that elephant is. But for some reason, Tasha, who during this season, I enjoyed watching Tasha. She got me a lot of points. I like Tasha. I interact with her. But why did they take her as a goat? Why did they take her as you're not even an issue in this final 3? And they didn't show us. I want to know, CBS, why?
Right, because especially her work on Anchor was fantastic. She did what she had to do to survive. She turned that losing tribe around. You know, she saved herself in that away from Jeremy and Spencer with no help, just her and Savage. You know, but no, that's long gone to the past. It was all down to the merge and who she put on the jury.
Yeah. The only thing we have is Varner's post-exit interviews where he is not a big Tasha fan, and he said some stuff, right? And then there's rumors about a confrontation that has not been publicly talked about. So these are rumors.
The only other thing we got was Joe at Final Tribal saying, you're the one that everybody's saying is doing all of Jeremy's dirty work.
But they didn't show that.
Nothing. We got no examples or anything of where that comes. And to me, that's the Ponderosa influence. Yeah. That's where somebody comes in. Let me tell you what she's like or what she did. Yeah. And all of a sudden, everybody now has that information, whether they knew it for fact or not.
Yeah. It's like the grandparents come to visit. Christmas morning, everybody but little Johnny gets Christmas presents. Why? No one's telling the grandparents why, but they know something happened. Because he got coal in his stocking. Why? That's what I want to know. Why? But anyway. All right. So let's see. Voting. Here we go. Voting. Kelly says, and whenever she votes, this is the last time I'll be writing your name down.
Right.
And she wrote down Spencer's, which means I am not voting for you to win this game.
Correct.
I'm holding up the parchment. I've never done that, David. Did you hold the parchment like this whenever you talked to the camera right before you were voted out? Just like Kelly?
The one time that I voted, yes, I held the parchment up so the camera could see it.
You had a Kelly moment.
Well, I explained it to them. I said, if you're seeing this and you're not surprised, then I'm okay. But if this vote comes as a unique shock to you, then this is my only vote for this weekend.
That's right. Kelly, sorry, I thought someone else said something, but I guess not. So Kelly goes home and several disappointed faces on the jury. All right. Day 39.
So you think they're disappointed in that Kelly's gone or that they have to vote now for one of these 3 people?
Well, I know Abby said she wanted to beat her. I mean, she wanted Kelly to win.
Okay. I know what you meant.
Yeah. Abby wants to beat you up. No, Abby wanted her to win.
I mean, I know they like Jeremy and respect Jeremy, but even the votes prove that they did not want to vote for Spencer or Tasha.
Right. Yeah. Hey, they didn't even give Spencer second place.
Nope. Not
and they've
one.
done that in the past.
Yes, they have.
They've known, okay, look, this guy's going to win, but who's going to vote for this person so that they get second place?
Right.
They didn't even do that. So maybe Jeremy's speech isn't what got him the unanimous. Maybe Spencer's own actions got Jeremy unanimous.
I think there was a lot of talk about Spencer's actions over each night after Tribal. You know they sat up all night talking about that.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Shia Tachman from New York said I should drink V8 energy drinks every time we do a podcast because he likes the energy. It's starting to kick in.
Is that on YouTube or is that here?
Who, Shia Tachman?
Yeah.
Oh, he messaged me that a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I did voiceover work for him.
Oh.
So, anyway. Time to see the Harry Potter mirror.
I like this part. I'd rather see this than the Walk of Memory or whatever. I know I call it wrong, but I'm just over that.
Yeah.
I understand why some people like it. Mike K likes it, and I understand why, but I'd rather see other stuff.
I'd rather them step on a scale, look in the mirror, see their parents that are long. Oh, sorry, wrong movie. but I like that. You know, they get on the scale, they see themselves, what they look like. I like that a lot.
Maybe they should give them like a shaving kit and just let them get ready for Final Tribal. Everybody else is ready for it. I mean, you get your long yellow dress and everything else.
Yeah, or have Joe come out and cut their hair for them.
Sure, put it in a bun.
You didn't see the Ponderosa video. He gave Keith a haircut.
No, I didn't.
You know what would make this even better?
What's that?
If they had everybody's loved one write a final 3 letter, and they get the letter as a final day encouragement.
Wow. You should write that in. You should write that in. You should send it in to Probst or send it in to CBS.
Hey, Probst listens. I'm sure he's an hour and 6 minutes into the podcast. He's got nothing better to do.
I think you should, I think it's a great idea. I love that. Give them more motivation. Get them more fired up to go give their speech because to some degree, Spencer and Tasha had to feel like they had a chance.
Yeah. Somebody's already beat me to it. Someone that's listening live is already writing the email to Jeff and taking credit for it.
This is not the same idea that Dwayne from Survivor Talk with D&D had. This is slightly different. I did
not just hear this from Dwayne.
I think you should give it to him after they eat their breakfast.
That's right.
Not before. Dwayne said before.
Yes. Oh, man. All right. Tasha says nothing about her chances of winning whenever she does, they do a final confessional, which, of course, helps my points in the D&D Survivor Challenge.
Yeah.
But Tasha says nothing about her chances of winning. Spencer says he has a shot. And Jeremy basically says, I was in control of the game. I surrounded myself with the right people at the right time. And I wrote, Jeremy has a secret weapon, something he's been saving.
Yeah. I wrote that Tasha credits her social game, which I mentioned earlier, getting her to the end because she didn't play idols or win challenges. And, her social game with Jeremy and Spencer was right on. But her social game with the jury was not. Right. She mentioned the tough conditions of paranoia, and full credit to her. She's proud of herself. She should be for making it 39 days.
Yeah.
Spencer said, I am here to make my second chance count and prove my change deserves to win Survivor. Most important night of his life. But man, the last few tribal councils, I think, buried him.
Yeah.
It just came out wrong. And like you said, Jeremy, the second chance is all about Val and the kids. He said, I didn't leave my home for nothing. We wanted to show that he's been in control this whole time. So he's got the much better, to me, his speeches, Jeremy has what Fishback eventually says. He's played with integrity and trust and honesty through this whole game. It's just worked in his favor. He was on a strong tribe. He surrounded himself with not targets, but people that would not get votes in the final.
Yeah,
Shields.
And he had shields earlier.
And he had shields early on. He just played, he did have some luck by getting on that tribe, but at the same time, he played every card he was dealt just about the right way. He only got blindsided a couple times, but they never were detrimental to his game. He still had walls around him. Yep. Good for him.
Yep.
That's it.
All right. Final Tribal Council. Savage. I'm not going to tell everything that was said.
I wrote a few notes about each one, not everything.
All right. So if you got a note on, so I'm going to go down every person. It won't take that long, though. Savage said, arguably the most difficult season. My vote is open. And he gives instruction, David, Savage needs to tell them that they need to take this very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. And then he calls out Spencer for being arrogant.
Yes. And gets on Jeremy for skipping and being arrogant about Kimmy. But Spencer, none of his answers to me were as effective, obviously, as Jeremy's. Because Jeremy flat out said, she was with me.
Yeah.
I was with her. And at that moment, I had an emotional reaction to her trying to cut me out of this game.
Right.
Yes. And he admitted to it. I did it. I skipped, I hopped, I jumped, I sang, I called her name out. I did. And I'm telling you why.
And this is why.
And
yeah.
And it's funny. I wrote earlier, I forgot to mention one thing during the Kelly Tribal Council that she said that Spencer's been preparing his final tribal speech. That's how ready he is to get to the end. And he's like, oh, no, I haven't. And I'm like, yes, you have.
Yeah, you have.
Since your first day on the island, you've been preparing your final tribal council speech.
Right. You wrote it before they voted you on the show.
That's right. So I went back too far. But anyway, that was savage. I had to say nothing for Tasha, the person he was so close with on Anchor.
Nope. Fishback, you brought trust, honesty, and integrity. Tasha, you did Jeremy's dirty work. And Tasha said, I played my game. And it's just funny, though. Fishback is the one that coined the phrase voting blocks. And then he calls out Spencer for using them.
Yeah. For clinging to them. Yeah. Yeah.
That was odd.
You took my words and you ran with it. I guess that's what he meant.
How dare you?
And then Spencer owns up to him and said, yeah, I had no relationships. I had to flip, backstab, and hurt relationships, including yours. I'm like, Spencer, you just told them that you have no relationships with any of them.
That's right.
I mean, I guess so Spencer's hoping that they're going to credit his strategic game more than his social game, which did prove to be different.
Yeah. Sierra pulls a Dan Foley, which, by the way, Dan Foley is a guest on another upcoming podcast called Hidden Immunity Idol or something like that. Tonight, right now, unless they're already done. I don't know. But flippers rarely make it to the end, and they never win. Sierra? I'm surprised they let you say that. Because it has been sufficiently discussed that is not true. But anyway. Keith, being humble is a pretty big thing for me. Jeremy and Spencer, what a tough question. I'm sorry. But if I'm on
Dwayne, you got to convince me it's a tough question. That's not enough. You got to make me believe you think it's a tough question for me to give you my vote.
Okay. Well, if I was at Final Tribal Council and someone said, tell me why David should win, I wouldn't want to do that. That would be very difficult.
And I would believe it because you would say, no, because he shouldn't. That's why I can't tell you that he shouldn't win. There's no way Dwayne should win this game. Have you heard him crying every night because he's cold and he's wet? He cries every night. He does not deserve to be here. Why do you think I brought him? He does not deserve to win. Thank you, David. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. So I spend 10 minutes telling why you should win, how awesome of a player you are. and then it comes to you and you look at me and you go, I can't. He's a loser. And then you do your whole speech that you just did.
And if it was between him and a snuff torch, I'd vote for the snuff torch.
That's awesome. Oh, man. All right. And he doesn't ask Tasha anything. Abby, this was interesting.
I loved your question.
What was your subtle move?
I love that question. What was the move you made that we didn't see?
Yeah,
Who gave Abby that question?
CBS asked a good question.
Okay, you just answered my question. That was a great question.
She had notes on parchment.
I thought it was a purse at first because it was flat and long and rectangle. I thought she brought a purse with her for some reason.
And here's what I have to say about their answers. Okay. Well, about Jeremy's. Jeremy, that was not a subtle move. Hunting for idols and using them is a big move, not a subtle move. He didn't answer her question. He answered it with, he claimed a big move was a subtle move.
Right. I agree. I'm leaning more towards yours because I liked what he said that when we came back from reward, I think what he was saying was I didn't sit around and sulk. I went out to collect and wood and get stuff, but I was actually looking for idols, and that affected my latter game. But yeah, I kind of agree. That's more of a big move that he did. I love Tasha's. Well, my subtle move was that everybody thought I was with Jeremy, but actually I've been with Spencer the whole time.
Right.
we realigned. And then Spencer used what we saw all season, that he was with Joe and used Joe to move things around and then try to keep all the focus on Joe. But Spencer also told us that in his confessionals. I like Tasha's answer in that situation. Yeah. I'm letting y'all know right now, it wasn't me and him. It was me and him the whole time. That's why we have been working together with him to keep him in the game.
Yep. Kimmy confronts Spencer. You were a bully. Jeremy, we were so close, then Spencer comes in. Now, I love this because Jeremy had a chance to answer that.
Once again.
Kimmy, I never said that. You did. In fact, I had faith in you, and I was duped by Kimmy. And she goes, okay.
I know that was the end. And I think that's what stuck in my head when I was thinking that Spencer and Tasha blocked her from talking to Jeremy. But you're right. She had the whole hammock conversation with him where she cried to him and everything. So she had that chance. But once again, and this goes back to what Savage said, make your answers honest and open, and we'll listen to you. I still think their votes were already set, but Jeremy was honest and open. And again, you never gave me a chance to prove that you were for. I always said you weren't, but you're the one that said you were, and you're the one that said they took your place. I never said they took your place. Right. So, which kind of leads me to blink now that he did tell her she was set, she was good. But maybe. I guess Tasha and Spencer were so tight and confident that she just presumed that she was for.
Yeah. So Joe just basically says, my vote is open.
He also says, Tasha, you weren't aware of what was going on around you. Okay, Fishback is the one that said dirty work. So that's what Joe said. One moment when you said you're out of control. So he asked her to say a moment where she took control, and she did. I think she did kind of push the vote for Joe, where Jeremy was trying to save him a little further, possibly to keep him as a shield. But she did. I think that was a big move for her that she gave up the all-girl alliance when she could have gone with him.
That's true.
So that's true. But then again, that could have been what gave her the advantage to win at the end. If she went with Kimmy and Abby or Abby and Keith, that could have been her big move to flip on Jeremy and Spencer.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about Kelly Wigglesworth.
Well, no, you need to understand this. All right. You just need to take back all the bad thoughts that you're thinking right now. Are you prepared to do that?
No.
Okay. Kelly Wigglesworth says, my fate was determined by one simple question. Pick a number between 1 and 10. On Twitter today, Jeremy said, her number was whatever number I picked. I love Kimmy.
You mean Wigglesworth?
Yeah, sorry.
Kelly.
In other words, she was just doing that for show. She was going to vote for Jeremy. So now you have to take all that stuff back.
No, I'll tell you later why she really did it, because I know. So I'll tell you later.
Oh, well, dadgummit, that's not cool. Wait, so did she really?
And our listeners will know later, too.
So you're going to post it in our Facebook group?
No, I'm going to let somebody else explain it, how it happened. But I'll tell you after we're done here.
Okay, so well, answer me this then, because the impression I got was that she told Jeremy later that it didn't matter what number everybody picked. I was going to pick whatever number you picked. Are you saying that she actually really did do the number thing?
No.
Okay.
Now you're going to be distracted for the rest of the night.
Well, then CBS told her to say it or something. All right, let's see. Cass says, Spencer, this is great. Cass, you played like, by the way, a little short. I'm going to use a little PG-13 language here because I'm going to quote her. You played like Chaos Cass. Why should I vote for you when you've basically spent the last 2 years calling me a dumbass? That was great.
It was. And it was perfect.
She's like, you played exactly like you. That was great.
And he says, well, I'm not the person that I was back in Kagaya. And she's like, I know. You're playing like me. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I've changed. Ask the jury. It said, don't ask Savage. But I've changed. I'm different. You've changed too, but now you've changed into me. But you didn't like me then, and you want me to vote for you now. Perfect. Yeah. I love that question.
And you've been a jerk to me for the last 2 years.
Yep. So here's your payback in one night. Yeah. Get your payback.
But then she says, congratulations on trying to change. I've done it too. Yep. Maybe we'll have a beer later.
Yep.
And I'll be interested to find out.
I think she's actually said that they're better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, then Kelly Wentworth, what was your second chance story about, and did you accomplish it? Spencer,
good final question. Sorry,
Yeah.
good final question.
I had no people skills before, played like I couldn't have played before, so, Jeremy, I'm here for Val. Oh, they didn't even show it. Did they show us Tasha? If they did, I just didn't write it
Tasha
down.
said maintain and build relationships, which she should have meant with my alliance, because not with any of you.
Apparently not.
From what we saw, yes.
Yeah. I'm here for Val, Jordan, and Cameron, etc. The whole I left, she told me she was pregnant. And I came out
hold on, Jeremy. We want to change the mood music. We want to change the music while you go into this. Go ahead. Now continue, please.
And then she came out and she said she was okay. And then she's I'm having a boy. I'm having another boy. I'm having a boy. All I have are girls. I'm having a boy. And that's why I came to play. It's my second chance. Vote for me. There you go.
And if he was on American Idol, he'd go, vote one. Call in, vote one.
Yeah.
But I loved the way he explained it. He says, I'm about to bug out right now because I've been holding this in. And to me, this goes back to Savage saying, be honest and be open. And Jeremy's like, fine. I've never been able to say this because I wouldn't be sitting here, but this is why I played, and this is why I'm emotional, and this is who I am. And this has been the Jeremy that Fishback talked about, bringing integrity and trust. And he didn't tell anybody. And that's when Spencer got up and said, can I just go to the jury and vote for him too?
Yeah.
Why don't me and Tasha just go sit over there and we'll make it, 10 to 0.
Yeah.
Or 12, I mean.
Spencer pulled a king out of his pocket and tipped it over. And I say kudos to Jeremy. Way to go.
Held it for 39
Absolutely.
days. Did not tell anybody. And it wasn't even, I don't even know if he was going to ever tell anybody. That, from what we saw, it was the last question of the final tribal council. Yeah. And he had the opportunity to say it, so why not say it?
That's right.
I guarantee you he was still going to win. I think you agree with me there. And I even think it probably still would have been 10-0. I think Spencer made those zeros. I think with the last few tribals, I think he pretty much lined it up and I think Fishback reiterated at Ponderosa that it was Jeremy with integrity and respect. That's how he's playing the game, and that's why he was going to vote for Jeremy. Yeah. So, and I think that just won people over. And without Wentworth, the Wentworth votes went to Jeremy.
Right.
Certainly not to the people that were bullying Kelly out of the game.
Right. It's time to vote. We got to hear Joe say, this is really, really hard decision for me. We got to hear Kelly Wigglesworth say, fate is on your side tonight. And then Cass said to Kelly on the way out, I hope he gets on a jet ski.
I wrote down the fact that we're not seeing any votes means it's 10-0. It's a landslide.
Yeah.
If there had been one vote for Spencer, we'd have seen it.
Yeah. All right. Wow. What a great episode. Anything before we get to our listener thoughts?
My first reaction was, it was like an NFL season where everybody was finishing 8-8. The playoffs were downright incredible games. And then the Super Bowl was 28-0. But it wasn't that. When I watched it again the second time, it was still good. It wasn't that Spencer and Tasha were empty goats. They were goats that played, and I hate to call them goats. They were survivors that played really hard as best they could. They just weren't playing the way Jeremy was playing, and that's why he got the votes. So to me, the 10-0, it gives Jeremy the due. He was rewarded with what he deserved, but it was closer than that vote, in my opinion.
Right.
And I don't mean that they would have gotten votes from other people. I just meant that they really played a hard game. Tasha survived. Right. Spencer played from the bottom. He was the only time he wasn't on the bottom was when he controlled the vote with Shireen the very first episode and Vetus went home. After that, he was on the bottom working his way up.
Yeah.
So to me, it was a much closer game than it finished 10-0, but Jeremy got what he deserved. He got a full on reward. Yeah. So absolutely wonderful season.
So, let's just give this whole season a round of applause. All right, if you're using your podcast app or whatever, you can skip ahead 30 seconds, but I'm about to encourage you to use Amazon.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, shopping season is upon us again, and if you'd like to support the podcast while you're doing your online shopping at absolutely no cost to you, just visit www.stwdd.com/Amazon or go to D&D's website and follow the links. Now, back to the show. Later, peeps.
All right, we have a lot of feedback tonight. We start off with Mr. Lisk, and I believe I'm reading this, so it's Lindsay Patrick. Here we go. Hey, guys. So I don't know if it's just the editing, but it seems like Spencer dodged a bullet in terms of voting this week. If he voted for Tasha and Abby, voted for Keith, his alliance with Jeremy would be toast. Do you think he realized that he couldn't trust Abby to vote for Tasha? Or does he really think he can beat Jeremy? Wait, did I do the wrong email? Yeah, I did the wrong email. Oops. Do you have access to his to the feedback email?
Yeah.
Go ahead and read it, because I accidentally did the wrong one.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now. Sorry.
Sorry, my friend. That was last week's. Yeah, sorry, Rion. We don't have any Mikos challenge tonight. I know that's why you listen.
All right, here we go.
David.
I was very disappointed with Survivor and the resolution to the tie. What happened to the two tying people making fire? Very, very disappointed on how that was handled. Was not fair to put Keith out on a limb like that. Things like that do cause people to lose interest in a show. I will continue to be a fan unless more things like that happen. Sincerely, very, very disappointed fan.
Yeah.
So the fire challenge is, what did Mike K tell us today? It's down to final four?
That's just final three, I think.
Yeah, it's final four.
Yeah.
Just like it was in Durham. The final four is a tie, so it's going to a fire challenge. Before that, it's usually always been rocks, but it's never been with two idols being played and one immunity necklace. It's usually just one immunity necklace and maybe one idol.
Right.
So it's still a tie.
This would have been quite fair had there not been, and it is fair because it's in the rules, but it would have been quite effective the way they intended it to be if there hadn't been three people immune.
Right.
That was just a weird thing that.
And Mike K also dropped us an idea that I think they should have changed the rock rule when there's less than two people, or not enough people to draw. So, and I agree, a fire building challenge would have been cool to have at that point between Kelly and Tasha, especially if nobody wants to change their vote.
Right.
Put them to a fire challenge.
All right, David, you have the next one too. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. This is Steve Tarantino, our graphic artist from New York, who puts all of our graphics on our Facebook page for who gets voted out and for Jeremy the winner. Hey, D&D, great finale. It has to be one of the best seasons. Not the best, but near the top. I would like to first thank you guys for STP and for Reese's and for Haviline and for DuPont. No, I'm just kidding. Just naming sponsors.
What?
I would like to first thank you guys for letting me post my artwork every week. The beach update and the tribe has spoken. I enjoy the show and love doing artwork like this. Maybe Survivor needs a graphic artist. Hey, if I can't be on the show, maybe I can do the artwork. So not only does he put up the who got voted off, he also has this neat thing where he takes the cast picture and removes people as they're voted out. So it's the most funny looking picture you've seen. It's cool. People lose legs and arms and things.
But
I think Spencer lost his legs.
Yeah, but how cool is the final one where Jeremy wins
Yep.
and you have his whole body there? It actually looks very good.
It does. It looks really cool. He continues, this has to be the fastest challenge ever with Survivor. David called it at the first challenge. Spencer took it down. We were on I was live on their Facebook group. I was able to watch live and I was asking them constantly, who wins, this, that, and the other. We had a great conversation going on. So if you do get to watch live, go in our Facebook group and chat with we put up a spoiler full link, but it lets you know not to look if you have not watched the show yet. So, I'll say that part again. David called it at the first challenge. Spencer took it down. It's puzzles. It's Spencer. I would think Keith would be closer, but Spencer pulled it off. Then you have a problem of who to let go. Kimmy shooting for Jeremy is a good play, but Spencer saw that a mile away and knew she was lying at the beach. It almost makes you wonder, though, if they were actually just looking for some reason to get rid of Kimmy. to make sure she wasn't part of Jeremy's final three, because I wonder if she was. Anyway, maybe, whatever. I don't want to delay his feedback. So after the vote, you have a tie with Tasha and Kimmy. Okay, guys, Jeff said let them talk it out and see if someone can flip, but nobody flips. Since this is the case, Jeff says, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Keith must go home if nobody flips. Question, why don't they just make a fire to see who stays with Tasha and Kimmy? It doesn't seem right that Keith must go home if he is not targeted, right? Well, Jeff says during the break, we do have rules. Sorry, I don't believe that at all. They go with whatever works for the show. You're right, Steve. Credit to Keith, who was thinking about walking off if not for Kelly.
Okay.
That's the worst part is if they really wanted Keith gone, Jeremy and Spencer could have just been locked in on different votes and they could have forced Keith to go. We won't agree. We'll never agree. We'll just keep our votes separate. But so anyway, the next challenge, Kelly nailed it. Nice job. Kelly has a great idea. Kelly makes a fake idol for Keith. She makes a perfect idol. Wow. Nice job. It looked better than a real one. She gives it to Keith. That's why it wouldn't work, because it looked better than the ones that Jeremy found. She gives it to Keith and Keith doesn't use it. Come on, Keith. Pull it out at camp, at Tribal Council. Have dinner with it on, but use it. You can see Kelly's face at Tribal Council when Keith not using the idol. Question, do you think it would matter? Do you think Jeremy would flip to Tasha? I don't know. You guys, someone said on Facebook, maybe have Kelly find an idol at camp and then give it to Keith in front of everyone. Actually, she did, didn't she? Didn't she put it on the shelter and he picked it up off the shelter?
No.
Yeah, she put the package down and he picked it up beside him.
Okay.
I think this will be a stronger than just giving Keith showing an idol at Tribal Council. But Keith goes home. Great playing, Keith, this season. You surprised me with your skills at the challenges this season. And I think we talked about Kelly and the idol enough.
Yep, we did.
So the next challenge, Jeremy wins it. I was laughing when Jeremy said at the beach, Kelly, do you mind doing fire challenge? Come on. You knew he wasn't thinking this. Sorry, Kelly. Kelly, you can see you have many fans everywhere. When I saw the second Kelly, I knew it was her. You knew Jeremy told Tasha to vote for Kelly. So what's it with Kelly?
So that's it with Kelly.
So that's it with Kelly. Sorry. Hope to see you again on Survivor. I think we will. Great fight the whole game. So close. At Final Tribal Council, I would think it would have been tougher, but it wasn't bad at all. I like a strong Final Tribal Council. Some yelling. Also, who chooses for the order? I'm sure CBS knew the questions. Yes, they did. And they choose the order, right? Yes. A Q&A for Kelly. Wow, no votes for Spencer. I would think it would be very close for Jeremy, but no, I was so wrong. I did say way back that I like Jeremy going far into the game, right? LOL, do you think this speech at the end about the family did it for the jury? People on Facebook were saying this. I just can't believe that Spencer got no votes. Maybe the way he talked to at the last Tribal Council to Jeremy and Kelly. Some Facebook people didn't like this.
We talked about that too.
Yep. The reunion show. I feel it was rushed. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but I agree. In fact, I didn't even take notes and I didn't have any desire to see it again.
I don't think we even saw Wu the whole episode.
Yeah, they showed him once.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember why. Because they mentioned him taking Tony. Because I don't know.
Okay.
They didn't talk to many survivors. Give some other people some airtime, Jeff. Okay, D&D, I guess we will have a lot of medical issues next season. Maybe they should just camp on the beach for the doctors. No kidding. I mean, they showed like 5 or 6 different medical scenes.
I know.
LOL. Happy holidays from New York. Catch you guys in February. Steve, graphic artist.
All right. Steve, I have posted several times that we're looking for a new graphic artist. Feel free to submit your ideas. All right. Next we have Fred Runala. Hey, D&D. Thanks for doing what you guys do. It is greatly appreciated by us Survivor fanatics. A banner season concluded with the right winner. Joe's Man Bun has its own Twitter handle. Abby in the game, a Brazilian freak show. Out of the game, nice as pie. Going by body language and facial expressions, did Wigglesworth actually want to be there playing? Spencer tried really hard, made it to Final Tribal Council. Good on him. Poor Tasha was the Final Tribal Council afterthought. Savage calling Spencer arrogant to me is the height of arrogance. Spence is a young man whose life experiences are limited compared to someone twice his age. Good to see his comic relief in the form of Keith. Top 5 finish, not bad. My 2 pennies, do with it as you will, Fred. Thank you, Fred. See, David, whenever you whenever you're busy all afternoon and I have to do the feedback document, not only do I get one of them wrong, I give you all the long ones.
Yes, I'm noticing that right now because I saw the next name that came up.
Well, we just do them in the order that we do them. So
yeah, we do.
If you want yours read first, then by golly, get it in early.
Yep.
All right, next we have Andy Westover.
Who can't speak in less than 1,000 words. Okay. Good evening, Dwayne and David. I loved last night's episode and loved the outcome. It's always great to have a deserving winner, and we went into that finale with at least 2 to 3 great options. Here are a few thoughts on the episode and outcome. 1. Based on the reunion, it sure seemed to me that CBS really wants to get Joe and Kelly back for another season. Also, I really didn't expect to see the Kelly Wentworth montage, but it was great to see her getting props for her game.
Yeah, can I say something?
Sure, you're on the podcast. Go ahead.
I seriously think Kelly will be on a Heroes versus Villains, and I have not heard anything.
As what?
A hero.
Oh, because her Twitter feed looked like a villain a couple weeks ago when she voted out Joe. Oh, absolutely. I mean, she's the underdog the whole season.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe's the golden boy, so he'll be back too. Yeah. Let's see. Number 2, going back to an earlier feedback. No, you can't do that, Andy.
Yes, you can.
Andy's
going to be on our Star Wars episode.
I know. I stated that prior to this season, there were 39 immunity idol plays, of which 15 were successful. Kelly and Jeremy were 16 and 17, respectively, earlier in the season. Also, though the Survivor Wiki shows their final 6 days as unsuccessful, I don't see how they could be considered as such. They played their idols, they didn't go home, and they would have gone home had they not played their idols.
Well, yeah.
Sounds successful to me. So if we count those as successful plays, that would be 18 and 19 out of 43 total idol plays in the history of the show. Kelly and Jeremy would be the second and third individuals joining Parvati to have 2 successful idol plays, period, let alone in the same season. Well done, guys.
Wait a second. Wiki's right, though, because their idol plays did not save them because they were tied. Their votes didn't count, but they weren't going home. It was a tie. There's no way of knowing who would have gone home.
Yeah, but if Kelly didn't play hers, she goes home. If Jeremy doesn't play his, he goes home.
Well, okay.
If the other one did. And then, yeah, all of them, and they were, the idols this season were 4 for 4.
Good point.
Every idol saved the person from going home.
Good point.
Number 3, going just a little, I know, Andy knows what he's talking about now. Number 3, going just a little further into this. Oh, we're not even under the surface yet. We just skimmed the top. Here we go.
Well, then let me go back then. There's an argument for both ways because the idols only worked if the other one wasn't played. But They were both played, so they were moot. So the argument could be made either way.
The snuffed out torch still wins. So
that went over my head. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because I'm not voting for you. I'm voting for the snuffed out torch.
Oh, okay.
Because I like its argument better because it doesn't have one. Going just a little further into this, I also noticed that counting both Kelly and Jeremy idol plays, that equals a total of 10 successful idol plays in the last 3 seasons. That is a lot. That's right, 10 successful idol plays out of 10 total idol plays, a perfect 100%. Oh, okay, so then the last 3 seasons we've had perfect idol plays. In just the last 3 seasons, after 9 successful plays out of 33 in the previous 28. Or technically 18 since the first was played in season 11, Guatemala. That's a 27% success rate. All right, so over the last 3 years, there have been 10 successful idol plays.
Wait, you're going to try to figure this out and explain it?
No, I'm just rereading how incredible that stat is.
Yeah.
That the last 10 idol plays all were successful, which gives a lot of credence to the new generation of idol players. Their timing is right. Timing is everything. Spencer really missed out on getting rid of Jeremy. I mean, it's all about timing, but he won the challenge that got him to the end of the game. But wow, that's pretty awesome. The last 10 idol plays were 10 for 10. They worked. All right. So my question is, how have we jumped from a 27% success rate in 28 seasons to 100% or 44% overall success rate over the last 3? So you got that? Idols are 27. Okay, good. Are the players that much more savvy? Are they being tipped off by production? Take their tinfoil cap off. Or is it something else altogether? Or is it just a natural ebb and flow of success and failure that will ultimately lead to another failure streak? Whatever it is it time to tweak idol mechanics or something else in the game in some way so the idols are not quite this powerful? What do you guys think? Merry Christmas and happy Wookiee Life Day to all, Andy Westover.
I don't think they're any more powerful. They're just as powerful as they were before. They're just being played better.
I agree. I think there's also, it seems like there's been more sharing of information. Like Kelly admitted in the reunion. I do remember she said that because she voted for Cass, she gained trust that gave her the info to play her idol the first time. I mean, maybe it's just a little more telegraphed that the plays are coming. I don't know, but it's right. It's just ironic that suddenly we're 10 for 10 after going 9 for 28.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Wow.
Next. Next we have Alex O'Neill. Hi guys. Alex here from Australia again. Sorry if this is late and too short. Sorry. My thoughts from the finale. Still don't like Tasha. I tried. Love Jeremy. Wonder why Spencer wasn't worried about him. And would have loved to have seen who would have won between Jeremy and Kelly. I would have loved to hear from Cass or Shireen in the finale. I agree. Seemed like Jeff isn't a Cass fan. I was a little sad that Vetus wasn't there, but if he did breach contract, I guess that's fair. Wondering who you guys have liked to hear from in the finale. I seem to remember Jeff used to ask everyone one question. Cheers, Alex. I would have loved to hear from Cass because she had the same second chance change story that Spencer did, but we didn't get to hear about it at all. I would have liked to have heard about it.
I think Probst is satisfied with them getting their exit interviews, their post-game interviews and all that, I presume. I mean, you can't fit with so much in an hour. I would rather have seen just a longer finale. I mean, just a longer reunion to give people more chance to speak.
Yeah. All right, next we have an audio feedback from Will in Wonder Lake, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, that was an absolutely fantastic finale for Survivor Season 31. I'm telling you, I absolutely loved it. I was screaming and yelling. I cried at more than one point. It was so exciting. I watched it with two of my kids, Jack, who was cheering for Spencer, Gracie, who looks like and was cheering for Kelly Wentworth, and I was pulling for Jeremy and Kelly. It was wonderful. I want to talk specifically about that final 6 tribal council, which I bet you guys will talk about a lot, get a lot of feedback about, but I wanted to break a few things down. And then moving forward, I also want to look at that final 5 tribal council, which I also think is very interesting and maybe was played incorrectly. Now, first of all, the final 6 tribal council, this reminded me, just like I am sure it reminded everyone watching, of the final 6 in Blood vs. Water, where Sierra forced going to rocks. That's what everybody was thinking about. That the camera even panned on Sierra at that point when it was a 3-3 tie at final 6. I mean, they were hammering that this is a redux of that moment. Here, I was thinking, just like I was at final 6 in Blood vs. Water, that Sierra made a move, but she should have made it a week before when they would have had 4 against a 3. Again, Kimmy here waited until there were only 6 left to flip to the other side, to the Minority Alliance, to force a 3-3 tie. Why didn't she do it a week before? Now, the answer is probably Abby Maria, that nobody trusted Abby Maria. The majority didn't trust her. The minority didn't trust her. Nobody knew what she was going to do, and therefore she was unreliable. But Kimmy, trying to take the game into her own hands, should have made the move that she made to get rid of Jeremy a week earlier. That said, when there were 3 votes on Kelly, 3 votes on Jeremy, Kelly plays an idol, Jeremy plays an idol, no votes count. That was so beautiful. And then Jeremy wondering, who voted for me? Who voted for me? And Spencer says, you know who voted for you. 3 votes on Kimmy, 3 votes on Tasha. We've got a tie. We are deadlocked, and the rules of Survivor say work out the tie or you're going to rocks. Meanwhile, the camera shows Fishback pointing at all the contestants, counting, muttering to himself, and realizing before anyone else does, before the players do, before Jeff clues anybody in, that if they go to rocks, Keith is the only one drawing a rock. It was so beautiful. I loved when Jeff finally did explain it to everybody. Even then, Keith didn't get it. If you guys hold this tie, Keith goes home. Period. There is no scenario where anything else happens unless votes are changed. I like that Kelly and Keith agreed to change their vote. That was a smart move. They were smart to get rid of Kimmy there and stay tight to their twosome. That was the right move to do there. Having said all that, that might have been the greatest tribal council in Survivor history. And I don't say that lightly. I know the councils it's up against, but man, was that a great moment. Shift forward, though, to Final 5, and I think that Kelly Wentworth, who made very few mistakes during the course of this game, made one there. She made a great fake hidden immunity idol, and then she gave it to Keith, and Keith knew it was fake, and she trusted Keith to play act somebody into switching a vote. I don't believe Kelly played that right. Kelly, I love you. You know I love you, and I was a fan of yours the whole way, but I think you made a mistake, and I think when you hear me out, you're going to agree that you made a mistake. What you should have done was told Keith nothing about your idol, then gone to tribal council and pulled it out, just like Malcolm did, and put it around Keith's neck and say, I'm not going anywhere. Keith's not going anywhere. We're voting for 2 of you, and you guys better decide who amongst you is going home. That may have caused at least one of them to change their votes. You can't rely on Keith to play act. I think you needed to rely on Keith to be genuinely excited because in that moment, he really believed that he was safe. If Keith really believed he was safe, even though he actually wasn't, I think it might have done something. In any event, I think it would have been a better play than him keeping it in his pocket and doing nothing. That said, Kelly, brilliant, wonderful game, and I hope you get to play again because I loved watching you on my TV. Great season, maybe as good as Cagayan. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
Awesome. Always love to hear from Will. He will also be on our Star Wars Movie Talk episode Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Any comments on his feedback?
I love that idea. Don't give Keith anything to do.
Yeah.
In fact, you could even give it to him at camp and say, you're not going to believe this, but I've got the last idol. Here it is. Put it in your pocket, and we're going to play it when time comes. And it's obvious he's going to go, even if it's a fake idol. So, which it is. So, but I like that idea. Don't put it in Keith's hands. Keep it in your own because you need Keith to stay if you're going to go to the end.
Yep. All right. We have another audio feedback, and this is from Wendy Zell. So here we go.
Hey, Dwayne and David. I probably missed the deadline, but I'm going to try and send this in anyway. As you can see, my voice is still not right yet, but I'm going to try to soldier through. I was so excited about the finale yesterday. I was just really happy. This whole season has just been a joy to watch, and the finale did not disappoint. To see Spencer self-detonate at Final 5 or Final 4 was, I don't know, sad because I feel like he's such a better player than that. It was like he had a little tantrum fit and it cost him possibly $1 million. I don't know if he would have won anyway, but I'm quite sure he would have received votes if he wouldn't have done that. I'm still sad that Lady Kelly Wentworth didn't make it, but, you know, she gave it everything she had, and to lose 31 pounds and almost a quarter of her body weight shows you how much passion and how much she put into the game. And I will always admire that in her. I guess I don't really have a whole lot more to say. I'm thrilled for Jeremy. I think he was a very well-deserving winner. I hate to use that word, deserving, but I thought his speech at Tribal Council was fantastic. You know, he may have been pulling on the heartstrings a little bit, but whatever it takes to get that $1 million, you know. And I feel like he's just an all-around nice guy. But, you know, who knows? We see these people on TV and we get so invested and we feel like we know them. But just a fantastic season. It's almost like I'm not ready for the next season because this one was so good. I just want to savor it for a while. And how is it possibly going to measure up to the season that we just had? I also thought it was interesting. They showed a few previews, and one of the contestants next year is an old Big Brother contestant, Caleb, Beast Mode Cowboy. So that ought to be interesting. I was also floored by the number of medicals and the evacuation. I mean, apparently this is going to be a heck of a tough season to make it through. I just hope no one, is seriously injured. But anyway, thank you guys for all that you do. Thank you, Shayna, for tabulating all of the challenge results. I've been doing a challenge with a friend of mine here in town. I haven't figured it all up yet to see who won, but loser buys the other couple dinner, so I'm hoping to win a free dinner. Anyway, it's been great. Y'all take care. Bye.
Awesome. I can't wait to get the results. We haven't gotten them for this week yet. What? We love
when we can contribute to somebody getting a free dinner.
Oh, yeah.
We love that. I think, thinking on it, I think Jeremy doesn't even mention it unless he's asked. I mean, I think he was hoping to get asked, looking for the opportunity. But if that question didn't come from Kelly the way it did, I don't even think he brings it up.
You know what? That's a very good point. Anybody that's thinking he did a low move or whatever, which I don't understand that. If he was planning on doing that, he would have done it a lot earlier.
He'd have found a way to get it out earlier.
Yeah, and instead it came because of a question, and he even paused before he answered it. You know, like, do I really want to do this? And yes, this is the truth. There you go. Mm-hmm. So kudos to him. And yes, a huge thank you to Shayna Davis, who also does a blog on our website, stwdd.com/bloggers. And she, my goodness. In fact, we're going to try to make the scoring a little easier. We're going to take out some of the difficult ones like cleaning their teeth and stuff like that and make it pretty straightforward, gameplay related and stuff like that for next season.
In fact, we're going to set up a roundtable to discuss these points. A private roundtable. This won't be a podcast.
Just us and Shayna and Andy Westover. So anyway, way to go. Way to go, way to go, way to go. Thank you, Wendy Zell. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. All right, lastly, we have longtime listener, used to leave feedback all the time, one of our favorites. In fact, we have a video on YouTube, which you can find us. The username for YouTube is Dwayne Stroud, or you can just look up Survivor Talk, and we're in the midst of all the EW Survivor Talks. Find us. But we have a video on there of a card that Mike and Cleveland sent us, which was pretty awesome. But here we go. Mike and Cleveland. David, take it away.
The last feedback of season 31.
That's right.
Hi, guys. Jeremy winning Survivor might just save Survivor as a viewing choice for me because him winning proves a good person can win. I have never pretended to be one of Survivor's hardcore fans, but because of the podcast and Facebook group, I have watched somewhat regularly.
Yep.
The last couple of seasons have made me seriously question if I wanted to continue powering on, but this season's unpredictable play and winter does restore my faith that there is some entertainment here for me also. I loved this season for one main reason. It wasn't a mean-spirited game.
That's true.
It's true, and I think it has a lot to do with these are experienced players, and they know they don't need to get into a spirited situation. They want to play. Everybody wants to survive. These castaways made Survivor a chess match where punching and counterpunching was more important than petty differences. Even players whose gameplay I seriously questioned had legitimate, if not sound reasons for how they played. My only complaint about the season doesn't come from what I saw on CBS, but instead from what I'm feeling from Cass and Tasha outside the game itself. I hope you guys catch for the first time ever. I'm referring to Survivor as a game, not as a so-called game. Yes, that's how that's how freaking good the season was to me.
Awesome.
For all my purposefully silly chauvinistic comments of the past, I truly love strong-willed females, and both Cass and Tasha are breaking my heart with their post-game comments. Please stop. Out of respect for Naoka's memory, I have not done my normal thing this season. Hopefully, as my family continues to move forward, it'll feel more appropriate for me to be me again. I would like to say to Janice and Wendy, thank you girls for being you. It's impossible to express much of the smiles y'all give and lift my spirits. Hashtag Go Sparty and hashtag Eagle Eye Zells. Sincerely, Mike in Cleveland. Wow.
Mike.
What a heartfelt feedback from Mike.
Yeah, I always like to hear from Mike. Great guy. Great guy. All right, that's our feedback. It is now time for
Pondering Ponderosa.
All right. Pondering Ponderosa. Apparently, I'm the only one that watched it.
Yep.
Man. Well, then I'm just going to be brief.
No time. Go ahead.
Kimmy. I knew I was on the bottom. I wanted to stay in until I could make a big move, but the move didn't work. Told you about that.
Mm-hmm.
She lost 23 pounds. She got a great greeting. Kelly Wigglesworth showed her around, and then apparently Kimmy was taking it pretty hard. She's pretty disappointed, and but then she got to see pictures of her kid, and she saved a crab.
Oh,
yes.
Kimmy, I liked Kimmy on Facebook. She would post after every episode a dance, her and her kids, and each week different friends would join her that she survived the episode. Made it to the next episode. That was pretty cool that she did that. A lot of interaction with our survivors this year.
Yeah, she got one of our shirts, by the way. Yeah. Keith, I didn't think the fake idol would work, so I just voided it from my mind.
Are you Kelly or are you Dwayne?
I'm Dwayne. Gosh. Man. Anyway, I had a great time but let's not do it again next year.
Really?
Yeah. He lost 20 pounds. And then he said, I had 5 goals. Don't be the first one out. Mm-hmm. Try to make merge. Mm-hmm. Try to make loved one.
Yeah.
Try to make final 3.
Was winning one of the 5 goals?
No, there were 4 goals in the 5 goals.
Well,
the 5th goal was to make a 5th goal. Anyway, he got a warm greeting. Also, let me tell you guys, if you're not watching these Ponderosa videos, they're very good. And you can tell they put a lot of extra effort into them this season. And Probst even, really pushed them. They're trying to get more people on their sites, what they're trying to do. Because, hey, you get people on your site, you get more money for your ads. That's how it works. We get like $1.25 a year for the ads on our site. Sierra said Keith is one that everyone genuinely likes. Now, this is interesting. Cass said Keith basically reset Ponderosa. All right? She said that when Joe came in, it caused cliques to form.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe caused them, but it just happened. People gravitated to people, and
there was more people, more population to allow that to happen.
And then Abby came in and caused the great bungalow scandal of 2015.
Oh, who had to sleep with who? Yeah,
who had to sleep with Abby.
Share rooms, yeah.
And then, okay, so there was that. And then Keith was drinking beer and eating pancakes. And he said, I feel like I'm at the Waffle House. I'm telling you, you've got to go watch these things. So he shows okay, this is great. He shows the idol, and they all freak out. He shows them the idol, and they freak out. And he's like, I'm not sure if it's real or not. I don't think it's real.
Oh, no, don't even tell me that.
No. He's like, well, I don't think it's real. And they're all like, what? You had this and you didn't use it? What, are you, an idiot? Even if it was a fake, you could have acted like it was real. He's like, well, I didn't want to do that. And are you sure it's fake? I'm not even sure if it's real or not.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
I take back that he's smarter than we were giving him credit for. I'm sorry. I still like him, but oh, no.
Then Joe gave him a shirt that said something about a tuk-tuk, which he drove. It had a picture of a tuk-tuk. And he also gave him a haircut. And Keith spent most of his time on his 2 days there hanging with the locals, talking with them.
Oh.
Then we have Kelly's Ponderosa video. And she said, I wanted to take risks and make big moves. I have no regrets. Really proud of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Very thankful for D&D for helping me to get on the show again. Wait, that's not in there.
No, that's the part they edited out.
Yeah. Lost 31 pounds, dude. She was down to 115 or something.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So, she really wants a bacon cheeseburger. Okay. This season, have to be on all the time. Paranoia was high all the time.
Yeah.
Joe actually meets her at the dock with the Corona, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as she sees Keith, she goes, show the fake idol! And everybody there was like, yeah, really?
Oh, my goodness.
That was pretty
Take
funny.
Will's advice. Don't leave it in Keith's hands.
Yeah. Abby goes up to her. I wanted you to win so much. And she said, sorry, guys. I tried to take down the crew. And then we kind of get the feeling that she was really bummed. Didn't really want to talk about it. And she kept laying her head on the table. And they made her go to bed.
Oh.
And then she said, during the voting process to get on the show, I was an underdog. But shows like D&D helped people believe in me. She really said that, David. Just kidding.
That they would never let that get on the air.
No. But then they had a really cool thing at the end of her Ponderosa video. Every single person at Ponderosa had a final, this was my second chance, and talked about it. Pretty awesome. So not only did making the jury get you on the jury, but you also got to have some pretty cool Ponderosa videos and a final word at the end.
So we talked about in seasons past how Big Brother has that advantage of having their feeds go 24/7.
Oh yeah,
for the most part. So this is, I think, Survivor trying to play a minute game of catch up by showing just more sides. I mean, because they're still in the game, they're the jury.
Yeah.
So.
Then
again, it could just be what you said, and they're trying to get people to go to their site to make more money.
Well, yeah, you want people on your site, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next segment.
You write them. We read them. iTunes reviews.
David, I'm gonna actually read the reviews this time.
Okay.
I've decided to start reading them. The iTunes reviews are a wonderful way to help people find us on iTunes. Also, subscribing on iTunes. That is the way to get people to see us. So, we have 2 new iTunes reviews. They are both from not in the United States, so I get those reviews once a month. And so the first one is from Rian from Australia, the guy that's in our chat room, even right now. He gives us 4 stars. 4, David. 4 stars.
Huh.
Not 5. 4.
Well, we do
And
ask that they be
so I can't
open,
hear
and we do ask, like Savage, that they be open and honest.
Yes.
And I guess he's being honest. A little too honest, but honest.
Yeah. He titled it Survivor Recap. He actually wrote that he accidentally hit 4 instead of 5. So I guess he's going to go back and change it. Also, if you see reviews on there that you agree with, click on there that you agree with them or that it helped you, because those get moved to the top. The default view is most helpful. So those get moved to the top. So that helps. Also, those negative reviews, if you don't agree with them, click no, this was not helpful. And they get moved further down. All right. Survivor recap. Lighthearted recap on Survivor episodes. A view from two great friends who have never been on Survivor. Just talking about the show they love. Super deep strategy and game evolution talk. This is not.
What? There's that 1 star. That's why we didn't get 5.
But great recap and fun segments like Miko's Challenge. Guessing who said what from this week's episode. So good thing we got Miko's Challenge. It keeps Rion listening. But no, but you're right. We're not the super deep strategy, game evolution. We're not the, we're not the encyclopedias.
We're two guys that love Survivor and love to talk about it.
And talk about it. That's right. Next we have Nick 88 from Canada.
Dwayne wasn't frozen. He that's how it's actually written now.
Yeah. Gives us 5 stars. Titles it Funny Guys, Different Perspectives Than Other Podcasts. I hope so. All right.
These guys are not smart. They just like to sorry, I was just reading.
His review says, or her review says, these guys are great to listen to, good-natured fun with a lot of laughter. They have a different view on players than your typical Survivor podcasters, and I like that. Great podcast. All right. We also, David and I also realized that we're probably the old guys. I have a feeling most of the people that podcast are in their 20s or 30s, and we're both getting close to 50.
Yeah.
So we're the old guys podcast, which is probably why we're the safe for work, family friendly podcast.
Yeah, so pretty soon we'll be type podcasted. So for being the old guys.
Thank you, everybody. You can leave your own review by going to our website, scrolling down, and clicking on our logo. And that is iTunes Reviews.
You write them. We read them. iTunes Reviews.
It is time for Miko's Challenge.
Oh, wait. No, it's not, because Miko is still sick. So, David won this season's Miko's Challenge, but only because I was not able to compete in the final episode.
You haven't competed in much of any episode, so that means you don't get a clean sweep. Yes.
That's right. So I originally thought this podcast was going to be almost 3 hours, but we've taken out Miko's Challenge, so that takes out a good 20 minutes. And we don't have the results for the D&D Survivor Challenge yet.
Yeah, I didn't think we would. That's a lot of show to cover.
Come on, Shayna. I mean, we love you, Shayna. Wait a second. We had a review from Shayna.
We did?
I know we did. Hold on. I'm going to find it.
Okay.
Can you talk about something while I find
Our
it?
chat room is still busy. Rion and Beta Girl started kissing.
Whoa.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
If you're about to vote for me, 100% she wins. If I go to the jury, I would consider it a terrible mistake.
Sorry about that.
Are you just playing that again? Because you're echoing now, too.
I'm having major problems over here.
I had a guy at work today ask me, you still doing that podcast thing? I said, yep. He said, y'all do live or do you chop it up and get it all perfect? I said, no, we don't chop it up anymore. We used to, but my friend would stay up for 4 hours and that didn't always work.
Yeah. All right, here's a feedback from Shayna Davis. Boy, I'm so glad I didn't forget this. Shayna Davis.
Hi, Dwayne. Hi, David. It's Shayna. Now Jacksonville, Florida. Wow, I'm so happy that Jeremy won. Oh, I'm so giddy. And I'm just really glad that we have another man of color has won this season. In 31 seasons, just going through my head, I believe he's the 6th person of color. I know Sandra, she's won twice, so you can't, she counts as just one, you know. But it's just a really great moment, and Jeremy deserves all the praise. I don't want to complain about anything about the finale, but I have to say, Jeff, he's great, but he kind of ruined it for me a couple of times. He kind of ruined the big, never before has it happened in Survivor moment with the two idols. And if we thought about it, we can kind of figure out what it was. I mean, they both had two idols. You put two and two together, So we don't need Jeff's, he doesn't need to hype things up before they happen. And he kind of spoiled the winner for me a little. I mean, he said it's going to be a tearjerker. I mean, again, if you've been following the whole season and the whole story, you kind of know that, well, what could, bring out such emotion? Jeremy telling the jury about his unborn son. I mean, and I don't know. It just felt a little spoiler to me, and I didn't like it. And I just wish Jeff would just let things happen. They just feel more authentic. I just wish he'd let it happen, but, it's Jeff. He can't. But other than that, sorry, complaining, but I'm sad this season's over. It's been so much fun to listen to you guys and watch it, and it's been great. So good thing is we only have to wait, just a couple of months before the next one. But anyways, have a great night, guys.
I love Shayna. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She's awesome. So wonderful, 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 wonderful feedback tonight. So, hey, that means we had 10 feedback. Most we've ever had this season.
Just like the votes Jeremy got. Perfect 10.
That's right. That's perfect 10. So we do not have a D&D Survivor Challenge because she was too busy leaving feedback.
Awesome. Because she was too distraught from Probst. Way to go, Probst. You
Yeah,
threw
way
off
to
a
go.
whole podcast.
Gosh. All right. Well, because of that, we're pretty much done. Hey, listen, man, you got to catch our Movie Talk with D&D episode Tuesday night, 10 o'clock live. Right here on stwdd.com/live.
Only if you've seen the movie.
Yes.
Because we will be spoiling the daylights out of that movie.
Oh, yeah. And we've got some Star Wars nerds going to be on the show. I am not one of them. Mm-hmm. I am just a fan. But Andy Westover knows everything. Christiana Ellis is going to know everything. Bart Laber, I don't know if he knows everything. And I don't know...
I think Will and you are probably the least. I think Bart and I are probably about the same. Yeah. We may not know every detail and last name, but we're pretty deep into Star Wars.
So
now,
this is
not at Christiana and Andy's level, but yeah.
Yeah, but this is going to be a lot of fun. So, also it may get our show Movie Talk with D&D recognized a little bit. However, I'm sure there's going to be literally thousands of Star Wars podcasts going out there. So
what? Yeah, I'm sure.
But really, I just want to talk about it. And I'm excited. So we don't know when we're going to do the Kelly podcast, and we don't know when we're going to do the Cast podcast. So just be watching the Facebook group. It's stwdd.com/Facebook, and or go to our website up at the upper left. Those are links to all of our social things. So find that. Whether you watch or listen, thanks for tuning in. David and I really appreciate it. David, another season under our belt. We started with One World.
Mm-hmm.
Plantronics headsets, recording in our living room where my family was watching TV.
Like we're in a can trying to talk to each other.
Yeah. We've come a long way, buddy. Having a lot of fun.
Yep. It's been great.
We have 27 people that support us monthly. That's just amazing that they like us and think of us enough to sacrifice a couple of dollars a month to help us pay for this thing. Thank you so much. You're so awesome. And all the people that shop Amazon using our links, I'm truly humbled. It's pretty awesome. Pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you were all women, my wife would be jealous. But since there's pretty equal men and women, it's okay. That, and I'm 47, and she doesn't have anything to worry about. Oh, man. Anyway, head on over to our website, stwdd.com. We have 4 bloggers. Read them. Follow us on Twitter at Survivor_talk. And that's all I got. How about you, buddy? Anything else?
No, it was a great season. Really, really, really good season. Finally lived up to Probst's hype.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is Probst's favorite season. I think so.
Absolutely. And I think, I want to say, I forget who said it on our Facebook page, but you can tell when Probst is happy with the winner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, Shayna kind of, I don't know if Shayna hit on this or not, but the fact that he was so happy with the winner. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, kind of knew it was a guy. Oh, yeah. Mir I Am, or Vader Girl, says Star Wars nerds rule. I bet she's going to be watching Star Wars.
You think so?
I bet she is.
You think Vader Girl is going to watch Star Wars?
Yeah, Vader Girl. Have you already seen it? It started tonight. Have you already seen it? Star Wars is my life, she says. Always has been. Don't know what she's saying there. Hold on. I want to ask her when she's
Star Wars has always been her life.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Saved her as a young lass. Well, let's get her on the show. We can have some Star Wars counseling.
Were you on Tatooine when that happened?
Yeah, she was on Tatooine. Vader Girl, pay attention to us. Stop talking to Rion and pay attention to us. We want to know more about your life. When are you seeing? Oh, forget it. She's talking about Troyzan. She must be way behind. So, all right, David. I'm done.
Me too.
It's been fun. And now I've had V8, so I'm going to be up forever.
Well, my oldest daughter just came home, so I'll be up for a little while too.
Have fun. All right. Talk to you later, man. Bye, everybody. Right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for making season 31 amazing.
Yep. It's almost finished.
That's right. Bye.
See ya.